the back, the VOD and the silver screen. Kevin and Tom and Joe know all there is to know, from masterpieces to deep fried tacos. And if the movie sucks, you might hear them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude, this is Real Spoilers, episode 858, Weapon X.
I mean,
is this
sign me
secret?
up for that.
I see the comic books behind our guest,
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
to pull
I would-
out issues.
Well, no.
What?
What?
Well, I don't
Easy.
think the comic books are like touchy-feely or anything. I think
Some of
he's
them
okay.
are.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get some cherry Pop-Tarts over there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They have been touched and feeled.
I have,
Feel.
somewhere I have a copy of One-Fisted Tales.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Giant-sized man thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to brag.
It's so funny that made it through.
I know.
That's so great.
Like,
70s comics were the best.
yeah. They were just like, oh, yeah, I guess it could mean that.
Yeah, right, right.
Okay. Or
Whoops.
everybody, I picture everyone was giggling,
100%.
hoping no one else would say anything.
You mean like in the editorial meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, okay,
This
we're
is
actually,
the name of our issue.
we're actually
right?
going to put this out. Okay.
Oh, it made it to press.
Whoops. So let's go around the table and everyone can introduce themselves.
I'm Matt.
This is Joe.
This is Kevin.
And this is Tom. Before we dig in, shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn. Wherever you find a podcast, you can find us while you are there. Be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That's super helpful. It's greatly appreciated. You can, if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see
Yes.
Kevin changing lights. If you ever wonder how many Real Spoilers cast members does it take to change a light bulb,
One.
Much to everyone's amazement, the answer is one.
Wow.
Who'd have
Who
thunk
knew?
it? Who'd have thunk
After
it?
13 years,
Yeah.
you know,
I
enough
would-
practice.
I was like, of what? Turning a light bulb?
Well,
Of 4 of us trying to do it, we finally got one guy to be like,
Yes.
"No, I can do this on my own."
Well, he is the guy that does all the tech stuff.
That's
for the
true.
show,
That's a good point.
Was it 1 to screw in the light bulb and 3 to go on a comic book tangent
Yeah.
or something?
It was 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
One
well,
to
Matt was thinking about it.
yeah, one to make a comic book tent, one to do wrestling.
Yeah, I got you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got you covered.
So-
I was over here going like, that's all you have to do is one comic book mention, and now that's what the episode's about.
Doesn't take much, man.
That's the thing that's going to make people go, when do they get to the movie?
So,
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not yet. I'm still shamelessly
right.
plugging.
Sorry, never mind.
Also, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. It is called the League of Show Sharers because we are hoping you will share an episode. People who were kind enough to share an episode last week include Librarian Cynthia, Brendan McGuckin, Ralph Treble, Jason McLean, Travis Tewitt, Jason Weesey, Tom Dowdy, Julianne Jordan, Glenn Cougar, Melon Brewer, Chris Magic Man, Phil Timon, Tammy Lynn Powers, Betts, Gabriel Lugo. Sorry, I scrolled and it went too far. Richard Krotzer, Heather Sachs, Taylor Ward, Edit Photo Gamer, Dissect That Film, The Kryptonian Orphan, Colby Mack, Ken Holtzhauser, Geek to Me Radio, Ryan Terry, Mike and Oscar, Ronnie Castle, Batman Rye Guy, Matt Naglia, Nostalgicast, and In Session Films.
And Jason Aldridge.
Oh, I can never see him. I don't know why. He never shows up in my so. And Jason Aldridge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't count when Kevin does.
No,
Nobody
nothing.
cares.
Oh,
Nothing does.
that came from over there.
That's that TikTok trend where like you turn away and then that's what that was.
I don't do the TikTok. What are we talking
It
about?
is a cesspool of
the Tic Tac.
doom scrolling.
I have. Yeah, I my life is.
If I could just see Matt's giant nipples, I'll be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can call it a day.
So, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Real Spoilers, $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. We've been creating more lately.
Yeah.
So if you've been on the fence or you've been there and you're about to bail because you feel like it's dried up, we've recorded.
I feel like we did the two most offensive SNL movies are done and in the can. Like those are finished. I don't know how much more offensive they can get
I have
after
to
those
take mental
two.
health breaks every 10 minutes. I can only do so much of those at a time.
Stewart wasn't that offensive.
Well, I think the portrayal of the character could be
Huh?
the way the character is played by a
Yeah.
straight man.
Well, but they never
Oh wow!
really.
I think this is who's the real monster.
but they never really say.
They
like,
a
don't.
backdoor
I guess.
pilot?
I guess that's true. They don't. They don't. They. Yeah, you're right.
because he never has a love interest of any kind.
Well, we're never sure.
Yeah.
So we don't know about
Listen
that.
to the
Yeah.
app.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the
We're
episode.
never sure, and it's Pat taught me I deserve to know.
Right.
Or else I will go
It's my right.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's we has It's Pat come out yet?
No.
Okay. So It's
No, that
Pat.
should be this week. As they're listening to this, it should be out.
Okay, and then we've already recorded Stewart Saves His Family.
Yes.
Which was fascinating in its own
Wild
right.
movie.
Yeah.
Wild movie.
And so yeah, there's stuff over there.
Yeah.
You should go check it out.
There is.
And then finally, you can watch all of these over at YouTube, youtube.com/@RealSpoilers.
There you go.
So, anyway, there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
This was when Us came out.
Clear your throat.
When Us came out after Get Out, and it was received differently than Get Out because it is a very different movie, but like whatever.
Yeah.
I think this is on that level where I think this is a fantastic movie, but it is very different from Barbarian.
Yeah, I think that's a
in
great comparison.
In some ways, right? Like,
I think that it won't be as hampered by that because Barbarian ultimately was not the juggernaut that Get Out was.
That's fair.
Sure.
Like, I
That's
mean,
fair.
it was a hit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not disparaging, especially for like a low budget art house
was that
movie.
that wasn't this year, was it? Was that last year?
What's that?
Barbarian?
Oh, that was 2 years
years
ago.
ago.
That was a long time
Okay,
ago.
so
yeah.
Companions in the middle of that, but
But he
Companion,
didn't direct it. He just produced
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But
Companion was great.
Oh yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be quite as hamstrung by expectations like Us was in compared to Get Out.
That's fair.
But this movie's wild because it's going to be 40+ million this weekend.
That's incredible.
I mean, the Freakier Friday is a legacy sequel to a very popular for the time.
So that's interesting. Why would you call it isn't it just a sequel?
Well, it's
I
been
think-
20
I think,
years.
Yeah, I
isn't
think
it,
once
but
it goes-
isn't a legacy sequel one that negates?
No, not negates, but this is about the daughters.
Right.
Like, they're the main characters in their body, so you're like kind of passing the torch, but they're still in it, kind of a thing.
Interesting.
I mean, I saw it, so
I hear you.
know,
I always thought a legacy sequel is like, hey, forget about 4, 5, and 6. This one ties
no, that's a
right.
requel. That's when you're
Yeah,
rebooting
okay.
it. That's
Yeah.
a requel. A legacy sequel is just a sequel to a
bringing
movie
back
30 years
bringing
ago.
back the old characters.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
with you.
thought-
Yeah.
I thought a
Because Star
requel and a
Wars-
legacy sequel were the same.
That's what I
thing,
thought.
and they were just given a
No.
fun name. But I thought I thought what you said is a legacy sequel is what a requel was also, and I thought the thing you're talking about didn't have a name.
That's hilarious. Either way,
and I think there's too many names.
the point
just sequels.
The point was the movie industry is very reliant on IP and nostalgia.
1,000,000%.
And so Freaky Friday was a really popular movie when Lindsay Lohan was everywhere, and kids grew up there.
and it was delightful.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday is a fantastic
I watched
Yeah.
it.
remake.
It's a remake.
It's a remake.
Yeah, not a reboot.
They're both adaptations of a book, so technically I don't know that it's a remake as much as it is another. Like Nosferatu's not a remake.
Oh,
They're
that's
adapting the same book.
They're doing The Running Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the guy in every comment. Well, it's actually not a remake. This is actually a different adaptation of the book. So
If they end that movie the way they end the book,
God, it's been so long. I don't remember.
But a remake is
he
when a
flies a plane into a building.
Spoilers.
That's the end of the end of the book.
Spoilers, I haven't seen
Spoilers.
it. I'm
No,
gonna-
you don't have to see it. It's the book. The end of
Well, I
the.
haven't read it.
Are you gonna?
yeah, but you don't read.
Well, I'm gonna watch the Arnold version before the new one comes
That's
out.
not the ending of the Arnold version.
I wonder if the,
The
new
Ar-
one will
the,
do
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Edgar Wright has the balls, and I think that he does, the ending of that
I
book.
don't know that the studio does.
That's the question.
Yeah.
The ending of the original story. It's a short story, I think.
No, it's a book.
It's a book?
It's a Bachman.
It's a Bachman
It's one of the
book?
Bachman books.
He flies a plane into
God, I don't remember that at all.
buildings.
Oh, yeah, that
And-
might not
Maybe
fly.
instead he'll do something less controversial, like shooting up a school.
They're like, no, this
Although
makes sense.
Stephen King wrote one of those too.
He did that you can't find.
Yeah.
Well, some people can't. Like
Yeah.
it's out there, but
It's out there. The easiest way to get it is you have to buy it used, but there's this big collection called like the Bachman books. They put it's like
is
it
it
has
the Rage?
it's called Rage,
Yeah.
and it has like I think the four, so like Thinner, Rage, Running Man, and oh man, it's like the Seven Dwarfs. I can't get the last one, but
Oh, what is that?
It's not
Not-
The
not-
Long Walk, is it?
No.
oh
that-
yeah, that's a Bachman
yeah.
book.
That's
yeah.
a Bachman
because that's
book.
coming out too,
That's
right?
That is
Yeah.
coming
It's
out.
wild how many
Yeah.
movies Steve. I mean, I think we talked about he's the #1 adapted.
He goes in ebbs and flows. He sometimes you don't hear from him in movie world for a while, but when it hit,
And I feel like he's benefiting that he's been around long enough now that the people who are adapting his work
so Mike Flanagan.
grew up. Well, the other people grew up reading his stuff,
Yeah.
and so they have a respect for it. Where when they first started adapting his stuff, they would just like, "Oh, these are scary. Let's go." They wanted to get straight to the
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
parts, and forgetting that like he's really good at
Character,
characterization, and like you care about the scary stuff because you like and
Yeah.
are invested in these characters, and so like this new world of filmmakers, I think, get that in a way the original ones didn't. Because honestly, before, if you think about it, before, you know,
I think it was before the Machetes did it.
yeah,
Everything else, it was all the
yeah,
TV stuff
and the ones that worked the best, ironically, were the ones that had the least amount of supernatural stuff, right? Misery,
Shawshank.
Stand
Green
by
Mile.
Me,
Green
Stand
Mile.
by Me,
Green-
Stand by Me.
Oh, Stand By Me is an amazing, but Green
Yeah.
Mile does have a supernatural twist to it,
Oh, I don't remember that. Does
but
it?
it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can like suck out illnesses.
Oh, I just haven't seen it in so
I-
long.
that's an
I've
incredible
only seen
movie
the
though. But
yeah.
Rob Reiner did
He did
Stand
Stand
By
By
Me
Me.
Stand
and
by
Misery.
Me and Misery.
Ron
And
Howard.
and both of those screenplays, I should say, were written by William Goldman.
Oh, that helps.
So that, yeah, when you have like the guy that like literally wrote the book on how to write a screenplay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but he knew, like, right? He knew, like, well, you need to care about the people. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just go straight to the guy getting his ankles broken.
Man,
like, you know.
that-
We talk about this in our movie reviews all the time with
It's a
horror
masterclass.
movies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
And here's a prime
right,
example.
where you're gonna explain the characters so that you actually care when things are happening. But real quick though, I didn't get to tell you what Freaky Friday made.
Oh,
Freakier
yeah, yeah,
Friday
yeah.
made. So I mean, you've got an original movie here opening at $40+ million, and then this legacy sequel, whatever you want to call it, at around $30 million. And that's an IP that people in the early 2000s like grew up with, and so that's just amazing to me that the only people that can really do this are horror
Yeah.
for original concepts.
I was listening to. I went back and kind of listened to a podcast with it's Tom Segura and Quentin Tarantino.
Okay,
And they're talking.
wow.
It was mostly about the book that he had put out. And Tarantino had a really interesting point where movies today, film companies, all of the above, they are so, like you said, they're so hardcore about IP that nobody's taking chances.
Right.
Like in this, he says the 70s is the greatest decade for movies because you're coming out of the 60s and all of these filmmakers were taking wild swings with stuff, and studios were letting them
Like Paul Schrader just writing
anything,
whatever,
you know,
yeah.
like any of that stuff. And in the 80s, I think you can tell that like they just sprinkled
cocaine.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's-
They just sprinkled
It was
cocaine all
action
over
and
Hollywood.
cocaine,
yeah. And you had some stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And the 90s has like a weird sheen to it, and even I think even today, it's hard to break through the studio system with something that is original.
Which is why people like, Cregger and then, Ari Aster, the people that are making the
radio
A24
radio
stuff.
silence, all those
Right.
guys, yeah.
It's great there's people doing that because everything is so controlled by corporations, right? Like all these studios have now been bought up by investment companies. And
Well, I
look
also-
at Paramount and Skydance, right? I mean,
I'd rather not.
like Larry Ellison
I did not
is
realize
one of the
this-
richest people in the world, and his son, Larry Ellison's one of the Oracle guy that's one of the richest people
Oh.
in the world. His son David Ellison runs that company now. He's
With
the CEO
Skydance?
of Paramount now.
I didn't
when they
realize
sold
that Skydance was right leaning.
Yeah.
I
mean,
didn't I honestly
it's not.
didn't
I mean,
realize.
they make.
You guys got to see Eddington. You got to see.
Oh, I
Eddington.
can't-
really?
I mean, I'm gonna just have to buy
Is
that.
this all like
Kind of.
okay?
It's about like COVID, right? And like people
I
fighting about
think
wearing
sometimes
masks and stuff.
People talk about corporations being right or left, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't think they're anything.
no, they're money, right?
Oh, sure.
They're just soulless
Yeah.
monsters. that,
They
Yeah.
adapt to whoever is in power, which may be one side or the other.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
Skydance is like Tom Cruise movies, right? Like Mission Impossible. They work with Paramount and they produce
Okay,
So
okay.
I mean, it's not like they've been making Jesus movies or something. It's not that kind of like right wing Christian
Pure flicks.
Yeah, but angel films, pure flicks, that kind of thing. But
Real quick. So I was flipping through. I have
real quick, what is that?
It's real fast.
Give me a minute.
So
No, give me like
Apple, I'll give you 1 minute. And
Okay.
I was flipping through the Apple, like updating
Yeah.
my apps on Apple TV, and Angel popped up in the apps, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It is exactly that. It is like they're. It's wild. They have their own streaming service. Like, good for them.
So they've
You
got
know.
a new movie called Sketch with Tony Hale coming out, which is not a religious movie, but Angel usually puts out the ones that all have the same cover that look like the Jesus, like warm tones, and they're Bible movies and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But they're producing this one that apparently Tony Hale's been trying to make for like a decade,
Okay.
and it was getting pretty good reviews. And I haven't seen it, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah, it comes out I think next.
It was either
Up against Nobody 2.
Yeah,
Or maybe it
it's-
did come out
I
this
thought it was
week.
either last week or I
Yeah.
got ads everywhere for it. But
Oh.
Yeah, it's all over my Facebook
Yeah,
feed.
it's-
I don't know what I did to trigger that, but it's also got the lady that played Janet in Good Place.
oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
She's really funny.
She's great.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
She's
I was,
hilarious,
and I was very conflicted about the movie. I'm like, what is this? Because I'm like, this feels like a Jesus
This
movie.
is how they get
that's
you.
what I'm saying.
But I don't think Tony Hale and Janet from The Good Place are making Jesus movies. But I also know sometimes they get these kind of like, not to be disrespectful, but like
Middle tier
celebrities,
Like
and
Zach
they just
Levi. Like Zach Levi.
and they just throw a bunch of money at them.
But
And,
you know what? But
you know.
if he's trying to make this passion project for 10 years, they might
Yeah.
be the only one.
Right.
Because, like, we need someone with some.
And it's like I
Some
think
juice.
it's a really family friendly movie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like
Sure.
it's while it's not like necessarily like Christian, it is
Oh
family
wait,
friendly.
maybe I did see a trailer for. Is this like? There's there a bunch of like? Are they throwing bombs with a bunch of colors and?
Well, it's like,
weird
the girl when
explosions?
she draws stuff, then like the things she's drawing
I
come
did
to life.
see a trailer
Yeah.
for this.
It's been everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
But that's Angel Studios, right? And so I think a lot of these companies are breaking out because they don't want to be pigeonholed as the Christian, just Jesus movies, right? And so they've got money. They have people that back them,
Sure.
that want to see more family friendly. And so they're going to be the ones picking up these original ideas because studios don't take risks.
They don't.
They're balance sheets. That's all they care
We
about.
say they don't take risks, and they don't. But you were right, except on horror for whatever reason.
The budgets are so small.
That's also
Right,
true.
the risk is
you
low.
You
It's-
get
yeah.
people who are making horror flicks now are getting a free pass to be like, "What are you doing?" Like the bidding. Apparently, the bidding war for this
Yeah.
was insane. Like
And this
people.
is
Jordan Peele was pissed he didn't get it. Yeah.
Ben Shapiro put this out, right? Weapons is
Ben Shapiro and Gina Carano both
Yeah.
teamed up for this one. But apparently Jordan Peele wanted this for Monkey's Paw and didn't get it and fired his people.
Well, because
they
there's a
didn't get it.
conflict of interest. So
What?
his managers are also Cregger's managers or something, and they didn't give it to him because even though they work under the same management, they got more money from whoever put this out. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So like
okay.
he was pissed because he's like, you went with more money instead of giving to me, who's your long-term client, whatever. You know, it was one
Yeah.
of those. So he fired him. He's like, well, okay.
But there's also been times when companies get sued because like they push a product to something in house that pays less than if they had shopped it. So like
He might have been, yeah. I mean, he might have been wrong to do it, but
Yeah.
his
Wait,
reasoning was
Krieger
like,
didn't write this?
no,
did.
What?
Yeah, I thought he did. Okay, yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah, written and directed by.
Yeah,
just
which-
Companion was the one he produced.
Right. And then he wrote and directed Barbarian.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, I think we've said it before with this there's a new class of horror creators at this point. Like it's, you
and
know,
they're all very funny.
and that's
just
oh my
it is-
gosh.
guys.
They
it's
are.
so
Yeah.
interesting because at least two of them are right. Like two of them
I
come
mean,
from
Jordan Peele came out of nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like Key and Peele to being this master horror filmmaker.
Yeah.
I still say Nope is a masterpiece. That movie is
I think
so amazing.
that he didn't miss. I think every
no,
single
all
one
three of them are
those-
great. I liked
Yeah.
Us a lot.
I don't think Nope is a horror movie.
Well, it's sci-fi, thriller, horror.
Yeah.
I mean, the alien parts are scary, like when they're
Yeah,
in the dark.
it's
and stuff like-
Jaws.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, but Nope is great. But I loved Key and Peele, and then that came out. I think everyone got surprised with Get Out. Like, what?
Well,
Get
yeah,
Out
when
is-
they were like, "Oh, it's the guy from Key and Peele making a horror movie," you're just like, "What are we doing?"
Right.
All right.
Is it
fine.
going to be a scary movie or something? Is it going to be a
Right.
spoof kind of a
or
comedy?
okay, you've got enough clout that you can get this one idea that you have
Right.
through, and now
And
here
then
we
they're
are.
like, "Take over Twilight Zone."
Yeah. But I mean, like, this movie got a lot of laughs.
Yeah,
but not
because this-
misplaced laughs, but
Yeah,
like there's
agreed.
genuinely some very funny.
There's the one scene that I think is one of the funniest scenes of the movie is Josh Brolin is having a nightmare, and he wakes up and he it's the most
Hold
genuine
on.
reaction.
Josh who?
Brolin,
Having a what?
nightmare.
Okay. I got major PTSD from that sentence.
That's why. That's why
There's a nice callback
yeah.
for the long time.
That's why
listeners.
I said it and not you.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Both in one sentence. That
I
was
know.
wild.
It's like we should just stop recording and cancel the show.
We're done.
Like this is like it's all been building up to this.
Oh, yeah.
moment.
Our plan was to get to episode 1000, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
Sweat,
here we
I'm going
are.
to turn that light bulb off.
Joe shot his water. away.
Yeah, sorry, it's story of my life. It's the most genuine. I've had this reaction where you have a nightmare, it feels very real, you come out of it, and you're trying to get and the way he just kind of like scoots back in the bed and just goes, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It's
for
like
sure.
it was great, and
Well-
it got one of the best reactions of the film.
Let's back up and talk about
Yeah.
the premise of this film and why the time means what it means and all that stuff.
Okay, what do you think it means?
What are you putting me on the spot? Ask Matt. What does he think?
What?
So basically, there's a small town, and at 2:17 a.m., this one class of kids, except for
17.
one kid disappears. They all walk out of their houses and do this weird little what's that cartoon?
Naruto
Naruto
is
Run.
what it would be known as, I guess, in modern times. But what he's actually trying to do is there's an old picture was it from Vietnam or was it from another war
where the
where a
kid's
girl's
running
on fire?
And he's not,
Right.
she's not on
or
fire.
napalm is like
Yeah.
she's
Oh, is that what that
and
was
she's
supposed-
holding her
okay.
hands like this, and
she's
running
running
down like an
towards-
empty street, just covered in.
Yeah.
she's
napalm.
running with her arms out.
No,
so
her-
it's
she-
that
her-
is what
yeah,
he's
her skin is melted off.
right, and that is what
I
he's
do think it's
replicating.
crazy to that's gonna. It seems to be that's already like an iconic running the thing.
right,
The
it's an
kids
iconic
running
picture,
is very well. The
Oh, and
for the
Naruto.
movie,
Oh.
Yes.
but Naruto's is behind it.
back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing
it's
like-
no, but it's the same thing. When you think
I
of
don't-
people running with their arms out, that's what in modern times.
Well,
it's
I
the
didn't
Naruto
even
run.
think about the napalm picture, but that's exactly how they're running.
Yeah.
I watching some videos. Someone in an interview, or something, said that was
Okay.
one of the most iconic pictures.
It's just hard to come up with
A new scary weird
things.
thing, yeah.
And because I think if you run like that now, people are gonna be like, oh, that's from that movie.
It is
right? That's
exactly
from
that.
Weapons.
It will become the new, right?
It's
But so
100% that.
he says that kids are scary, and he goes, I can't explain it. I don't have kids, but kids are scary, and that's why he thought of the scary imagery of kids running around doing stuff, and he's like, they're just inherently scary.
They
Put them
are
in the dark, they're scary.
And
It's just.
I think if we all sat around and were like, come up with a scary way to run, we would come up with 4 stupid,
Sure.
dumb ways that everyone would be like, that looks silly. And those kids look creepy. I guess it's also security camera footage. So that's,
which I think is even creepier.
right.
Right?
Well, yeah,
Like
that makes it
But
scary.
I do think the scariest, when you talk about people moving or running or whatever, the scariest is like someone coming out of their house with scissors slowly but like adamantly. You know what I mean?
That,
Like,
man,
it's so
so
disconcerting.
Cregger seems to love like tone shifts,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
It's like his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole part, so
With the mom walking
do
out of
we,
the
do we
house.
get there? Do we talk
So
about
No,
yeah,
no,
so
no.
so like these kids disappear, and all of these and
All but one.
and these parents are freaking out, and they're blaming Julia
Garner.
Garner.
She is a
Garber?
gardener, coincidentally.
That's
so,
funny.
Green-
The Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruth from Ozark.
Yeah.
you
Also,
go.
her Emmy Award winning.
Yeah.
The mom from Wolfman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
And her character has a name in the movie too.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, all
Julia.
right. It's Julia.
Yeah. Oddly enough, they
she has
call
her
her
own-
they call her Ruth from Ozark. for
Yeah,
movie.
the whole
So
time.
weird.
Yeah,
No,
Ruth from Ozark.
Justine is the character in the movie.
So these parents start blaming Justine.
Well, you have an entire third grade class.
Yeah.
And there are 2 third grade classes.
Correct.
And only one of them goes missing.
Right.
And it's all you have left are one child and the teacher.
Correct.
And so of course fingers start to point
A teacher that
at
sounds
the teacher.
like she has some stuff
a
in her
troubled
past.
background.
But
right?
but also it's like not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Well,
like
and
that when people start digging through your past,
Yeah.
you can always find
It becomes confirmation bias,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
she's clearly has a drinking problem. She's got a DUI on her record.
Yep.
she gave a
which
kid
to
a
me
ride
is
home.
fine.
Yeah.
That's not even that bad.
She gave a kid a ride home one time because they
Right.
needed a ride.
But it gets flagged as like inappropriate behavior
gave- I
with a
think-
student.
She gave a kid a hug.
Yeah.
Well, no. So the worst one was she had an inappropriate workplace relationship at her old school, but it was with
Oh.
a teacher.
Right.
So it wasn't even with a kid. So nothing that she has done would be like she shouldn't be in a classroom teaching kids. And that's the question too, the bias that we bring. And do we, if someone made mistakes in their past, no matter how small, should those be kept being brought back up, even if it has nothing to do with your current situation?
Anytime I've heard that someone has gotten a DUI, I'm like, they would kidnap 17 kids.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Do not let them around 17 kids.
All of them at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so this movie takes a lot of inspiration from Magnolia, Cregger says, in the way that they
I got
tell the
some-
different stories and they come together.
I've never seen it.
Oh, Magnolia is great.
Who directed that?
Paul Thomas
Thomas
Anderson.
Anderson.
I'm out.
What?
No, I'm kidding. It's the other. It's a Wes
What do you-
Anderson. It's Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson, and then the other.
Paul
who-
W.S.
That's the
Anderson.
one.
Now, for
That's
Wes
Resident
Anderson, I
Evil.
will go, what?
Nah, I don't like Wes Anderson.
I can't stand Wes
Yeah.
Anderson.
Oh
Thank
my
ya.
gosh! So you don't
Yeah.
like any of the Andersons?
No.
Well, maybe PTA you do like.
PTA, I think is
He
fine.
did. What's the one?
Punch
that
Drunk Love.
Well, yeah. What's the
Boogie
last
Nights.
one? You know the
Boogie
what
Nights.
last one we did that we really liked with Philip Seymour Hoffman's son?
Oh, Mystic Pizza.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to be appalled because the age difference, but sorry, I'm
Still
just
a good-
not.
it was a good movie.
Yeah, it's
But it's the hot way, right?
yeah, it is.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
It's the other way
Cool.
around. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's fine.
we're okay with it. It's wish fulfillment for nerds.
Right. So that one, you get it broken down by person.
It's not called That's Julia Roberts' movie.
Oh
right?
wait,
It's
no,
not
no,
called
no,
Mystic
Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza.
Thank you,
Okay.
Licorice Pizza.
I just was like, I
Yeah,
have
no,
to.
you're
My
right.
brain was on fire. I was just
especially
like,
because people were yelling at their phones
I know.
when I said
so
it.
I had
yeah.
to. Yeah.
So that Magnolia breaks it down character by character.
Yeah, they tell a whole bunch of intersecting stories
So
at
does
the
Pulp
end.
Fiction.
And they're less right. They come together at the
At the
end.
end.
It's not like one.
I was
I
thinking
gotta
this
think
reminded
as
me of
much.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, I think.
Well,
storytelling.
when you were mentioning Quentin Tarantino, I was going to say it's funny you mentioned that. It's very much Quentin Tarantino with Pulp Fiction. Some people are saying Rashomon, but Rashomon is like
Oh.
different.
That's
opinion.
wrong.
Yeah, Rashomon
Yeah,
is
it's-
because Rashomon is like they you see it from different people's perspectives,
And the story
and
changes,
it
right.
changes what's going on
right.
in the
That-
narrative.
I do
Oh.
think that
That's-
does happen. Not to that extent, but like the cop. There's a what are you supposed to call him?
Capo.
The guy like the
like,
drug
oh, the
addict.
su-
I
a
don't know,
suspect.
whatever.
He's an addict.
But
He's
he's
a suspect.
I think you
he-
call them dirty junkies.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what they want to be called.
When they do the scene from his perspective, the cop is more aggressive when they're talking at the
Oh,
side of
I
the
could see
yeah.
that.
thing.
Yeah.
I think he even like cusses at him, and I don't think he actually I don't think
We don't
he
know
did that
whose
from
is
the
true,
cop's
yeah.
perspective. But right, it's not a full
It's
Rashomon.
yeah, I feel like it's really more just like when you see it from this other, it just provides more context.
Yeah, and that's
and you're
what
like,
this one.
oh, that's
Man.
what was going on here.
You guys, we've been watching The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That show's so funny.
What season are you on?
We just started it
Okay.
because we watched a couple like late episodes, and we're like, let's just do
from
it.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Man,
the early season 4.
When they're on the plane and Marge says to Homer, "You really liked Rashomon," and he says, "That's not the way I remember it."
It's the early seasons when like obviously Conan O'Brien
Yep.
is on there, but
Yep,
the seasons 4
Through, like, 7.
6, 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the hot. Yeah.
Season 1 is because I've heard people say like, "Oh, you could skip it," and like it's different, but
Oh no,
They hadn't
great
figured it out yet.
stuff.
But
It's
they,
great.
no,
yeah,
I
it's
love
very
all.
funny.
I love season 1, whatever. But like
There's-
4 is when I think because Conan O'Brien comes on. That monorail episode is so
It's the
funny.
best. It's the
so
best.
funny.
So so they're having these town halls, and all these parents are pissed. Josh Brolin, obviously, as the lead parent in this, is he's demanding information. He
It's
has
supposed to be Pedro Pascal.
yeah. So this was
Interestingly
supposed to be
enough.
made in 2020.
The strike
and
delayed
the
it.
strike and COVID both kind of f***ed it up, and Pedro Pascal's schedule changed. So they went out and got another
What's he
Marvel.
been doing?
Everything.
doing oh.
Apparently.
yeah, imagine being the one movie he wouldn't do.
Right.
But I think for whatever reason, Josh Brolin's a better actor than Pedro Pascal. I think he
He brings a certain gravitas to
but
a
he
role.
also brings like
I also feel like he's kind of a one-trick pony, though. Like, he just does the gruff thing.
True.
I don't know. Did you ever see? He's great in Sicario. I think he's fantastic in that.
I've not seen that.
It's Sicario.
I haven't
is-
seen it, but I can't imagine he's not a gruff guy.
He is a gruff
Have you
guy.
seen an old boy?
Yeah, Old Boy is a little.
Was he gruff?
He was gruff.
Okay.
He was gruff. Yep.
Is he gonna be? If he was any gruffer, he'd be a crime dog,
He'd just be doing the Jeff Bridges thing at this point.
which they just defunded.
They did? Oh, they did. Yeah. you're right.
no.
Yeah.
They
No
just
They
more
gotta
McGruff.
put down Scruff.
They took away McGruff the crime dog.
That's a
They
Simpsons
canceled-
gag.
They canceled his fentanyl awareness program.
Oh no.
We're
So
gonna
dumb.
put tariffs on Canada because of the 3 ounces of fentanyl that
Yeah,
comes in from Canada.
right.
And then cancel the
Scruff
program.
McGruff.
Okay.
Taking a bite out of crime.
I was gonna say there were 2 Marvel actors in this. There were almost 3 with Pedro. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, but you know what? Now there's been so many Marvel movies that your
Everybody
movie's gonna
is
have
one.
a
It's
Marvel actor in it.
It's not really even worth pointing out.
It's impossible.
Yeah, of course, a few people have been in a Marvel
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And he is basically leading this town against
All the parents are upset, but he's very much
Justine.
He's
Justine.
the most vocal.
Most vocal, and he does some
And he's
stuff.
the one that's a main character.
Yes, correct.
Maybe the other ones are just as upset.
But we definitely focus on him.
We don't get their name in text
Right.
before their
Which
part.
I got to tell you, I love this formula for a movie. I love seeing this thing happen, and then the next part is like seeing the exact same thing from a different point of view, but
Watch
then getting
Magnolia.
maybe
need to watch
I will.
Magnolia,
But then
yeah.
like seeing that person's story move past that
That's great.
moment.
I
Pulp
love
Fiction.
that
I mean,
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
yeah.
appreciated too that this movie didn't like show us the same. I've seen stories like this where then you go back and you're watching like
to see if he was in
5
that
minutes
one.
of the same
Oh,
exact
sure,
scene
sure.
from a different camera angle, and it really still like moves and gives you
Yes.
new information.
It's a fantastic way to engage you in a story. Like, with Memento, Christopher Nolan tells it backwards, but
Right.
still you're thinking the whole time, what is going on here? And during this movie, you're like, well, wait a minute, this is happening. Oh my gosh, we're seeing this other character, like the cop is in the background, and now you're following him and you're seeing how it plays out from his point of view.
Right.
What texts he was getting right before he saw her after, and
Yeah, it is also kind of hard to get behind Justine because she's not a great person.
but she's also not an awful person. She's dealing with so at the end of the day, all these characters I think are dealing with an addiction of some sort.
I think that's true.
And so Cregger told Josh Brolin in an interview, and it was in like,
who is sober? Josh Brolin is like.
oh, is he? Okay, well then he
Uh-huh.
gets it. Maybe that's part of why he
Maybe.
took the role. But Cregger said that each character was a part of himself dealing with the death of someone.
Trevor.
Well,
It's gotta be Trevor.
Well, not,
Somewhat.
but of someone.
Yeah.
One
Oh.
of these characters is probably dealing with the death of Trevor, but he said every character represents a part of himself dealing with the loss of someone.
Which makes sense.
And how do you deal with the loss? A lot of people turn to drugs, alcohol,
Sex.
whatever, porn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these different addictions.
What?
Right? What?
I was just like, in sex, you're like, no porn.
No. Well, we were thinking similar things. I used a different word, but you know what I mean? Like, there's all these different.
windows into how each of you deal with grief. But go on.
so each character, and I think thinking about it, so like I came out of this movie feeling a little. I enjoyed it and I thought it was really well made, and I left feeling a little unsatisfied. Like the reveal and why things were happening to me didn't, like when I left Barbarian, I was like, that movie was freaking amazing. And this movie, I'm like, that was really well done, but I'm like, man, I just don't know if I'm happy with the explanations of
I think
things.
I like this better than Barbarian.
Really?
I said it was like a 1A, 1B. Like, I think I
Yeah.
enjoy the tension and the character building of Barbarian, but I love
think
this
I love
movie.
the characters and the world building here better, but Barbarian has an explanation that could happen. I mean, I know it's out there, but like Barbarian has a not magical explanation. I think anytime when you're like, what's the mystery? And then they're like, magic.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just hard to wrap your head around unless you're going to a movie called Freaky Friday where the premise is magic is swapping.
I
you know
grant
what
you
I'm
that.
saying?
And I guess I just kind of always assumed it was going to be magic. So
It
like,
has to
didn't-
be, right? I mean,
it
this is a type of movie
No,
where
but-
like,
But I get what you're saying because like the Stephen King has a book turned into a
he's got a lot of
good
them.
miniseries, yeah, called The Outsider.
Oh my god.
which
yeah.
is good, but
Absolutely
like
incredible.
It sits on the supernatural aspect of it for like the first like third,
Yeah,
maybe longer
probably.
of the book, and so like I was like
I don't think they start getting into it until it's not a reveal, but when some evidence comes out,
right?
And they're just like, wait a minute, what?
But I spent the first third of the book going like, oh, are we getting a Stephen King book that doesn't have a supernatural element?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And and oddly enough, it's about a child abduction.
It is.
Although just the one. And so and then all of a sudden when they started doing the magic thing or supernatural aspect, and I still enjoyed the book, but I was a little disappointed because I thought, oh, we're getting more of like a crime story.
This is going to be a detective story.
This is interesting.
Right.
Well, and that stuff will bother me. I remember now Game of Thrones opens with the zombies, but then the whole first season, nothing really
Right.
supernatural
They don't
happens.
bring those things
and
up for
when
a while.
when she like finds the dragon eggs at the end of the first season, I had a moment of going like, oh, that's right.
It's one of those.
Wizards and
and I want to say I really enjoy this movie, and I keep thinking about it. So clearly, it's growing on. Not growing. I liked it, but like the ending kind of bummed me out, or the reveal. But then I kept thinking about it, and I do think.
But they reveal it within.
No, they reveal like halfway. It's a
It-
long time
It's
before
not. They tell you
Where do they tell you?
Well,
Tell me what point they tell
when
you.
when she walks out to her car, and it says "witch"
They don't
written on the
that's
car.
That's a oh wow, now that I think back to it, they didn't
I'm just
tell
saying,
you
he
by
tells you.
I think the closest thing to a reveal is when they're having shared dreams, and I was just like, okay,
Oh, sure.
like
well,
they're-
and
you know,
to me, the kids all running out at the same time, it kind of has to be.
No, you can I know whether you think it's real or not. You could say they were hypnotized somehow.
I don't think that's real. That would be magic to me. Like
What?
hypnotism?
I don't think it's
That's
really
true.
there.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
especially to that degree.
I am
People
typically
get
with you.
hypnotized to stop smoking or whatever. I'm just saying, like there are basis in reality
Yeah.
that if you told me they were all
Well,
hypnotized,
and I think that's the thing for me, because normally, yes, adding a supernatural element at the end makes me go, that's a cop out.
Sure.
But in this, if they had tried to make it real, I would have been like, but I know that can't
I know
happen.
I agree.
You can't
And-
get any kids to do the same thing.
Right.
At the same
Let alone
time.
17 of them.
And
No,
so,
that's-
and there's a lot of things that I think could feel like plot holes, but when you go like, yeah, but it was a witch.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
did spells.
But
Like,
sure,
the
sure.
cops, the investigators, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they kind of address it that she
Yeah,
cleaned
cops
up
are
the
not
house.
real.
And that they cleaned up the house and they like had the kids go hide in a shed or something. But it just seems like they would have looked harder.
So here, this is. I will say though, I do think that in that when those, so yeah, all these kids go missing. All of a sudden, Amy Madigan, who I didn't realize that's who that was.
Yeah.
like
I
I had
didn't either.
I had no clue. The makeup she has on, she does not look like Amy Madigan.
Yeah.
Wild, yeah.
At all. When she first shows up, and I was like,
I was having a good time.
she was.
man.
I mean, she's got great.
Excuse me, Streets of Fire's Amy Madigan.
I'm just. Isn't she? Is she still married to Ed Harris? Are they still
Oh,
married?
is she? I don't know.
They also do in the beginning say that it was a big embarrassment that the cops didn't solve it.
Yeah, and
so
they
there's
should've.
that. And then I think, right, like you can add in the like, well, she had some sway over there.
Well, do they
faculties.
ever explain how she was able to? So I don't think this
She is
is.
still married to Ed Harris.
Oh, there we go.
She also in Field of Dreams.
She doesn't feel the dreams.
Kevin
She's the
Costner's
wife,
wife,
right?
yeah.
I don't think she's their aunt.
No, I
I don't think so. I think she's
But,
several hundred years
So I guess
old.
my question is, how does she zero in on that? That is my question. Like, how does she zero in on
But she's
this
not
family?
their aunt, then why does that adult woman think she's her aunt?
So
a witch.
She
She's
said
a witch.
she hadn't seen her in 15 years.
Yeah.
I think that she like called and was like, "Oh, hey, I'm your mom's sister or whatever. I know I haven't seen you for a long time." Like I think she weaseled
I
her
have
way in.
aunts I haven't seen in 15 years, but if she showed up at my door, I'd be like, "You're not my aunt."
No, it's a good. I mean, it's a good question.
That is my question. Is like, how does she get to this family? And but then once she's in, she's in. Like,
Yeah.
and they
but
talk
she
about
says
parasites.
they're
and,
sick with consumption, which is
Which
not
is-
a new
And I love
modern
Benedict
term,
Wong going
Yeah.
consumption.
which
Yeah.
makes
What are
me
they?
think she's really old.
What are they on the
because of
Oregon,
witchcraft.
Oregon
Yeah.
Trail?
I mean, yeah, she could have put something in their burgers at McDonald's,
Yeah.
and that made them susceptible to her.
yeah,
Consumption is just tuberculosis, right? It's just
I think
a
so.
whole-timey
Yeah.
phrase
Yeah.
for tuberculosis. Yeah.
because I think that's what Benedict Wong says. He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't you mean tuberculosis?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess."
I always think there's in the Woody Allen movie, Everything You Always Want to Know About Sex. There's this scene where he's playing a court jester, and I always think of this where he's mimicking Shakespeare, but it's all about disease, and he's like, "To be or not to be, that is the consumption, or no, that is the congestion. Consumption be done about it."
Man, I don't like Woody Allen.
And was it?
I've tried.
It was not.
I don't like his
wasn't?
movies, but he's.
Oh,
seems-
you're on board for him as a
yeah,
person?
just like as a
Right
guy.
on.
Seems like a cool hang.
Cool.
Bust out that oboe.
So yeah, so
So they
Justine
start off telling the story.
clarinet.
from
Thank you very
Justine's
much.
point of view.
Yeah, each person has their own like title card where it's their name, and so you
Clarinet?
see Justine, and it's how she's dealing with
Not
this.
well.
No,
Yeah.
and her vice is alcohol. She's had DUIs.
Yeah.
You know, she's been in trouble with alcohol in the past, and you see she goes to the liquor store, buys a bottle, and she's like, "Oh, I'll get a second one."
Yeah.
And
Goes
she's
to the-
at the liquor store
You
quite
could.
often.
I love the liquor store scene when she first walks into the liquor store, because like within 3 steps, I was like, "Oh, she's
Oh.
got a problem."
Right.
She knew
Because
exactly where she was
She
going.
knew exactly. She was
Yep.
walking with purpose.
Yep.
She knew down this aisle, make a right. Down this aisle, another left. I mean, it was just like a heat-seeking missile for
Correct. For
Yeah.
vodka.
The way the movie's filmed is very purposeful. The camera angles, the shots.
Do you
know
think
what I mean?
this felt like a '90s movie? I feel like so. Like with the exception of Ring cameras and smartphones, for whatever reason, everything else about this movie made
did
it
feel
feel
kinda
like
out
it
of
was
time.
set
It
in
has
the
a
90s.
bit of an out of time.
I agree,
right?
which
Yeah.
is nice.
Vibe.
Yeah, with like they didn't play, which I also appreciate is that they used modern technology. Also, back to the cops thing when Josh Brolin's like, you know, he's watching his son run and he gets out a map and he starts like tracing it. And I was like, are you telling me like none of the cops looked at the ring footage and were like, let's just follow their line of running?
I think he got kind of lucky too, though, because those 2 kids went straight out the door, but they did turn. Like you saw kids leave.
Some of them
and
did go around the
turn.
corner.
Oh.
And I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with like, well, he happened to get lucky enough to find the 2 that
I guess I just took it as like, because we'll see this at the end where they just run through stuff.
Yeah.
Which is where I thought, I mean, I just assumed that they were just
Yeah,
running.
interesting. That they weren't that mad in the beginning. They weren't going through
They weren't
objects to get to
weaponized.
Yeah, they weren't.
That's,
Yeah.
I guess that's very
And who's
true.
the real weapon? I think is the question
I
here.
think those kids.
So you get to see it from her perspective, and then I think you go to Archer next.
Which one's Archer?
The Josh
cop.
Brolin.
No,
Oh.
sorry. Yes, you're right.
Do they go to the cop before?
No.
Archer?
I think.
Yeah,
you're
they
right.
go to Archer, and then you see him at like the town hall and he's yelling at.
So
Justine.
he's checked out from. So he's like a contractor building homes, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And you
his
can
son is one of Matthew goes
Right.
missing as one of the
and
kids.
he's fully consumed, right? Like his wife is trying to talk to him. He's just like, yeah, whatever. He's ordering the wrong things for his job site, forgetting to order other things, and he's just watching this ring footage of Matthew over and over and over again. And so, like, to me, that was his addiction, right? She has alcohol. He is addicted to just watching this video
I think he's
over
addicted
and
to the
over again.
loss of his son.
And he has regrets, right? That he didn't tell his kid he
Yeah,
loved
should have
him.
done this,
Yeah.
should have done that, right? And
also,
so,
his kid's kind of
His
a
kid's
dick.
kind of a dick. I don't know that
Right.
he should miss him as much as he
I know.
does.
It's kind of.
but he's also kind of a dick. That's the thing.
I don't know
Like,
that we
where did you
don't-
get this from?
apple trees.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So he starts putting, you know, we see that in Justine's story, she comes out from her. Okay. Also, Justine's house, is that the house from Barbarian?
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
very similar.
It's set
for
up
sure.
almost
Yeah.
exactly this, like
Oh,
the way
and
the
then
door
a
is, the way
thing
everything is.
Cregger seems to love too is the panning
Loves it.
perspective.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, he does it enough where you kind of notice it, but it's really effective.
It is
Yeah.
the most effective. It's all we've talked about, you know, like closing the medicine cabinet and there being nothing there
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
This to me is more effective because it feels like real movement.
I got questions about this guy. The one thing I didn't like, I mean, this movie, again, I really enjoyed it. One thing I didn't like, so she's all scared in her home and she's freaked out by things, right? Her blinds are open on the left side. The right window's closed and the left window is open straight out. Like, if you're all creeped
Oh.
out and trying to hide out and like, why are her blinds
I don't know.
Should
open?
put newspaper on.
Right.
was
But
the other
it
house.
just was weird to me that they'd be open because she's all freaked out.
Yeah.
Don't let people look into your house.
You're right. It sucks. It's a bad movie.
It was weird.
So here's something that, like, I like this movie, but I think Cregger needs to be
Careful.
careful of
Yeah.
is that ultimately both of these movies revolve around creepy old person doing weird things, and like that's gonna get real old real fast. Like, I really think whatever he does next,
Resident Evil.
He
Yeah,
needs to make
Resident
sure
That's what he's doing. He's doing Resident Evil.
that is not the plot point again.
Interesting.
Which will have creepy old people. Type
Depending,
thing.
right?
Also,
It depends on what he does.
I hope he doesn't turn into another Shyamalan where it's like every movie has to have a reveal. You know what I mean? Like Shyamalan got pigeonholed, and then if a movie didn't have a good
Shyamalan
reveal,
pigeonholed himself.
okay,
That
but,
was his thing.
okay. But if you make $400 million on a
That's
$20
fair.
million budget or
That's
whatever,
fair.
like the studio is gonna give you money to do the same thing. But he got to a point where it's like, oh, okay, there's this kind of thing. I don't know. I like both the movies. I just don't want him to always be the guy that like.
He said, go ahead.
We don't know if the mother's old, right? She could just be ugly.
I think she's like,
Wait, which mother?
In Barbarian.
Oh,
yeah,
not the real monster.
she's inbred, right? So
Yeah, she's
I don't-
inbred.
spoilers for Barbarian.
Wait,
Watch
wait.
that movie if you haven't.
She is?
What?
She's inbred?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why she looks the way that she
it's the
does.
guy.
I guess in my head it was like another one of the women that he had kept down
No,
there.
it's the guys.
You're right.
I just want to make sure that you're fine with it being women that are the monster, right?
Well,
it's
I mean,
the old thing that
Is there another way?
right. So like, I think it could just be ugly women, which I feel like is the scourge of.
That's just speaking truth to power.
Yeah. Speaking of scary women, though, I think one of the most effective things I've seen in a horror movie, as far as being actually scary, and is like his tone shifting stuff too. So the mom of the kid that's left,
Alex's mom.
Yeah,
Justine goes to the house. She's staking it out. She's gonna watch all night.
Jesus.
I referred
And-
to her as not Carrie Mulligan. She looked like Carrie Mulligan to me. I was
Which
like,
was
is that-
also crazy because Justine's peeking in the window and she sees the mom and dad sitting there,
Yeah.
which is scary. And then just calls the principal and is like, "We should check that out." And
Yeah,
it's
and the
like,
principal's
I
like,
would have
"No."
thought they were dead. Well, I thought they were dead.
Me too. Yeah,
But anyway,
I thought the kid was somehow in on it, and this was going to turn into an
thought
allegory
that- I
for
thought
school
it-
shootings.
Matt, finish your thought.
so
I know.
I
got-
don't.
Justine,
You're not wrong.
Justine's drinking out in the car, staking out the house, looking at the front door, passes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mom, the door opens, creepy. Can't see anything. And then she comes out holding these scissors, all crazy like,
Yeah.
and she's walking weird. And she walks up to the door, looks at Justine. You're seeing from like the passenger seat. It's scary. And then she just walks away, and
Big laugh.
everyone laughs.
Big laugh. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, that was funny. And you hear the car door open.
And
man.
everyone goes,
That had one of the best reactions in the theater.
"Oh yeah," because we were at the same theater.
Yeah,
so we,
yeah.
It's hard to be scared, right? Like genuinely like feel fear from a movie.
Yeah.
That
that was a
It was
very
good.
scary
The
moment.
way he films that, because it is filmed, you're basically looking at it from Justine's POV.
Once it pans to her, it never changes. So when the mom walks by, she walks up to the window and then just walks away. That's funny.
Right.
And then it sits on her, and then all of a sudden you hear a door open and shut, and everyone just
And we know-
And what's interesting about that, I think, ultimately, is that normally you use comedy to remove tension,
Yeah.
right? Like it builds and then it does something funny, and the laughter is the release.
This
and,
tricked you.
and this flips that on its head, and it gets you to laugh, and you think
You let your guard down.
You think, oh, I've just had
I'm
the tension
safe.
released, and then it's like, nope, more.
Oh, it's
here's
great.
real tension.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's-
And ultimately, that's what he's really good at. This is a very well-made film with very good acting in it and tense scenes, good camera work. It's creepy. Like, it's really well made. So even if, to me, if it doesn't work 100% in the end, the ride was really good.
I think
this blinds thing for you, man. Like you're so hung up.
It's like the blinds.
He's really more of a curtains guy.
Correct. I think this is 100% an allegory for school shootings.
I think that's one interpretation that's very...
He says it's not.
He says it's not, but how can it not be when there's an AR-15 with the numbers 217 over the house of the kid that's getting
I
bullied?
do also think people are taking that quote too literal. I think he might be saying
the whole movie isn't.
The whole movie
I
isn't,
agree.
and also I think he's leaving it open
to
Yeah.
interpretation.
But I mean, this is a kid that takes out his entire class.
Yeah.
I mean, whether he's exactly.
Here's the thing: he is responsible. He did take all of their name tags. And
yeah, but
I'm
well,
not saying
and it's circumstance of his life.
Yeah.
And the adults in his life that
correct.
led
I
him
think there
to-
is absolutely also how this is. I don't want to get too deep into this. How many people were killed at Parkland?
It is.
What's the number?
It
Is it
17?
17?
It is
It's
17.
17,
gosh.
and
Well, yeah,
there.
that's
and
Okay,
there's-
but devil's advocate, we have had so many school shootings
Totally.
that you're going to be able to find one where 17
I
people
know,
were
but it
killed.
is. But I mean, like the
It's
AR,
the joy of being American.
I know, but that is the big one that got
the
media
AR-15
attention.
above the
There's a lot
kid's
of big ones,
house.
though.
It's the most popular school shooting out
What,
there.
Columbine?
No, but the one
I'm
that
OG. I like to kick it old school. Columbine.
but the one that was
cool, dude. That's
politicized,
cool.
the one that was politicized with the, and David, what's his name?
No, that wasn't Parkland. That was
Oh no, that's Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
But
see my but
Right.
that
You
goes back
you
to
just
my
proved your own
point.
point.
Yeah.
But like it is the number, and there's the AR-15.
But is Parkland
above
the one that Alex Jones?
No, that
said-
was Sandy Hook.
That's Sandy.
So
Hook.
That's
that was
Sandy
all.
Hook.
Okay, so maybe there isn't that much. I was thinking, because I didn't know the number thing, I was trying to bring it back to why maybe that. So the main point I think though is what Matt's saying with Cregger. He does not want this movie to be like, oh, the whole thing is a school
No,
shooting.
I
algorithm.
yeah.
But I do think that there's trauma, there's ways that you deal with that, and one big loss that people are dealing with
The loss
that
of
is
children.
avoidable is the loss of children in these senseless shootings. And when 17 kids disappear overnight for no good reason,
And-
that's the same thing. It's a good read.
I will also say, like, it's in the public consciousness.
100%.
And so when he's creating as an artist,
Krieger is creating. That's what you're
correct?
saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Cregger when he does it too.
Yeah.
Is it Krieger?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
believe
That
it is.
even if it's not purposeful,
It's in his head.
there's no way it's
Yeah.
not
I think-
informing his art.
I
in
think
some
the
capacity.
fact that two people in this movie suffer from alcoholism
Right.
is, and when Trevor was the story is the Trevor who, if you don't know, Trevor Moore,
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Moore and Zach Cregger were part of The Whitest Kids You Know, which is a very funny comedy troupe that was inspired by Kids in the Hall, all that stuff. Trevor,
But theirs was
unfortunately,
raunchy. That was-
very much so,
yes.
yeah. Trevor got drunk and fell off a balcony and passed away.
I think his blood alcohol was like 0.25. He was very
very
intoxicated.
drunk, and whether he had a drinking problem or whether he didn't, I think that is reflected in these two characters, where it's not a new Han Solo and the Silver Surfer.
Is that
both-
Alden?
Alden Ehrenreich?
No, Ehrenreich.
Is that what it is?
This
be
is
careful.
from Hail
Better
Caesar.
be careful with that name.
Oh,
But like
Aaron
he-
Reich the third.
Yeah. She is leaning into her alcoholism. He is sober but falls back into his alcoholism because of her. Now, he's making his own choices, but alcoholism is a disease and it's very hard to kick as somebody that I've been sober for 13 years, but it's never not an issue.
so that's the only way you can do this podcast, Joe.
I'm not Jason Mewes. Like, it's not like, like, good Lord. I think that seeing those two characters have that struggle with alcohol does kind of ring back to Trevor and maybe what he was dealing with and how,
For sure.
But
But,
Well, and
but
that's like if you were to ask him, "Is this a movie about alcoholism?" I think he could say, "No, this
Right.
is not a movie about that." But there are certainly
I
elements.
think it's about trauma. I think it's about loss. I think it's about addiction. And I do think that
did we talk about how new horror needs to quit with the trauma?
I think everybody.
everybody
has talked
has.
about
Isn't that interesting that like in this movie we just let that go?
I think it's the same
the
thing
way
to
it's
me
handled?
as like superhero fatigue. It's not
Right, it
It's
has
not
to be
real.
done
It's
well.
just good.
It-
and
yeah,
and I think almost every horror movie is on some level about trauma.
How
I
could
think-
it not be?
Right.
I mean,
It's-
I think everything Halloween 2018 is to me where that starts. Like everything when they're
that's just
dealing
because
when
she
it-
said it every 5 seconds
But
of an
that's
interview.
my,
Well,
that's my
what it is.
point. That's what I'm
Trauma.
saying.
I feel like that Halloween movie though is the first one that really was like, what happens after?
Yes.
Right? Because
Halloween. Okay. Now, all right.
Because-
Rob Zombie's
No.
Halloween 2 is 100% about what happens to this
Sure.
person
Yeah.
after she has lived through this horrific thing.
But we don't talk about those.
okay,
movies.
so this is the first good movie. I've never seen.
and the
they're-
last
they're-
good Halloween.
They're
movie
dark.
as well.
They're grimy.
I saw the first one, Rob Zombie,
one?
but I never saw the second
The
one.
second one is
Why would you see the first one and then not see the second one?
Well, because the first one had Mickey Dolenz in it.
That's true, it
And
does.
the second one doesn't have Mickey Dolenz in
I
it.
think seeing the first Rob Zombie Halloween is enough to go, well, I don't need to I don't need to follow this up. I think the first one's okay.
First
like,
one's
it's,
fine.
It's whatever. But yeah, it didn't make me
But like
crave a sequel.
in horror movies like that, it's those slasher movies. It's like we kill the bad guy, and then now we're all good. And
Yeah,
it's like,
right,
but
right.
you're not gonna be all good.
Yeah.
but that's just
Scream-
where the story ends.
Every entry into the Scream franchise is like, how can we screw up Sydney even more?
Right.
Like, and by the time we get to Scream 5, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna peace out. I'm not gonna come anywhere near this. Oh no, Scream
I
6,
think
I guess.
a thing kind of like right in the kind of bad new horror movies is the ending can sometimes almost be like, it wasn't a goblin, it was trauma.
Yeah.
and this movie is about a witch. Like, it is a witch.
Yeah,
there's no like, but hey, but if you think
Maybe it wasn't.
think about
You
it.
know?
And that's ultimately what I struggle with this movie. Like at the end, once I know why everything was happening, is it's like, I don't have a better solution, right? So like, I don't know that I'm completely satisfied, but I certainly didn't want them to show it in the trailers and me go into it knowing it was about witchcraft.
That's fair.
And I don't know what else I'd want the solution to be or the reasoning to be.
Right.
So like, I struggle with it. Again, really enjoyed it. Something's off, but then I'm like, but I don't know. I mean, there's lots of movies. Like, I don't know why Rosemary's Baby is that movie, it works for me when you get that reveal. Maybe it's because they're gaslighting or it's weird. But
I think that reveal in that one is they have built up that gaslighting her for the entire
and
movie.
you're like, what the hell's going
and
on
they
here?
they don't tell you anything until the end of the
yeah.
movie.
And then you're just shocked. You're just
And
like,
they're
what
like, by the way, credits.
Right.
Did we talk about that prequel?
I have not seen
We
it.
did an episode about it.
That's what I thought.
No, not the prequel. We watched the sequel on Misbegotten Sequels.
You're talking about like Apartment
Oh,
4A.
we have not
yeah.
talked about
No,
that.
Maybe
we
I
did not
just
talk about
talked
that.
to one of you guys about what a crazy movie.
Yeah.
You told me it's kind of the same
It's
movie,
the
right?
same
It's the same
movie,
movie. So like,
but they know Rosemary's Baby
which the reason the first one works is because you don't know.
because you don't know. But on this one, they're like kind of from the beginning, like,
No, this is what this
it's
is.
the devil,
Yeah,
and
that's
you're like,
weird.
well, yeah, what? And then the same things happen to her. Like, it's
That is weird.
an insane movie.
But let me ask you,
and
remember
it's
that?
bad. It's real bad.
Now, going back, remember when Justine was in her house and the blinds
Is
were
that
open?
Justine? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Remember
Yeah.
that with the blinds open and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to ask you because I want you guys to tell me why this shouldn't, why this makes sense, because it bothered me a little bit. When you see it from her point of view, it's a very tense, scary moment, right? Because there's banging on her door and she's hearing things and she goes outside and no one's there. When we see it from Archer's point of view, we find out he's the one that wrote Witch on her. Mm-hmm. Who was banging on the door and how fast is Josh Brolin? He's hiding in between her.
I don't think it was
doors?
Josh Brolin.
So you think that someone at the same time was messing with her while he was there and painted her car?
Yeah. I think
Okay,
I think she is under so much scrutiny from this
Yeah.
entire town.
Do they
that-
just wave at each other? You're here to mess with her too? Okay. I mean, it's just a little.
the worst?
It's just a little weird to me that the moment that he's there and decides to paint Witch on her car, he gets out, does it without being seen, but she looks out and opens the door twice and no one's there because it's a creepy, what the hell's going on?
It looks.
moment.
I swear to God, it looks like the exact same street from Barbarian.
I mean, you just go around the corner.
I'm just saying from his point of view, we did
never-
not, that's probably why they didn't show it. When he pulls
Right.
up from his story,
Yeah.
we know he has red paint that he
Yeah.
ordered the wrong paint, and the camera pans to the paint, and then we just move on, and we know, oh, he's the one that did it. Because
Right.
if you would have shown it, it would have been like, oh, let me sneak in there, right? Oh, right, Witch. Okay, got it. Okay, let me sneak back to the car. In the time that she's
Yeah.
looking out the window and opening the door, it doesn't. I don't get how that lines up.
also-
Other than it's a creepy
well,
moment.
then
It's
that's
also remarkably good handwriting. Like, you
Very
think
good
he would be rushed.
Yeah.
But he really
Right?
No, he's got all
commitment
kinds
to
of
his
he's
time.
a
craft,
contractor.
Yeah.
He's done painting. No, that's the YouTube video we're gonna make. We're gonna put those two scenes
two together and
over the
so,
top.
but
of
I
each
don't.
other.
And again, the movie's so well done; it did not ruin the movie. But in that moment, I'm like, oh, this is just a creepy scene. Like,
Right.
you can't really explain it. It's just like oh my god, who's there banging on the door?
So
And
I
no
think
one's there.
the end of Josh Brolin's story is he confronts Justine at a gas station, and this was again another fantastic scene that is very reminiscent of the mom coming out of the house. Is you see it
Oh, yeah, in the
from
background
you
is
see it
great.
from Justine, like Justine's looking out like over Josh Brolin or what's Archer's shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and we see Benedict Wong running at her like in the same pose, and like his face is all
God, the way
messed
his
up.
eyes are bulged.
Yeah.
The
He's
eyes
got
are
blood all
bulging,
over his
yeah.
face.
And then he attacks her. They get into this scuffle in the parking lot, and then Justine runs into the gas station, and then they close the door, and then we jump to Benedict Wong's story.
Yeah, the way that it shows how each character is involved and what happened to them leading up to their intersecting is really cool. But yeah, you jump to him, and now he's the school principal. We should
Yeah.
mention.
It is funny how they are kind of not doubling down, but they're going into the whole idea of Benedict Wong's character is like, look, you have to understand, like, these parents are having lots of feelings, and everything is like, it's a very, I'm going to use the term crunchy. Like, that's kind of how he is handling this, feelings are heightened, and we have to be, cognizant of how people are feeling.
She's
and
bringing
what
a
they're
lot
going
of heat
through.
to his school.
He
Like,
is,
he's got to
she is bringing a lot of heat to her school, but he is kind of
not her fault, but just her being there is.
Yeah.
But you don't know for sure.
We
It's
don't
not
know.
her fault. So how much do you want to
Right.
stick up for her?
Put your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
But he
you
does
know?
protect her at the meeting.
He
that
gets her out of
Archer's
there.
yelling at. He gets her out of there, and then he meets with her and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna keep your insurance. We just have to, like, this
He's
school
like,
year, you gotta
take
lay
some time
low."
off.
Yeah. And she is, meanwhile, she's like, "Well, can I go talk to
Alex.
Can I go talk to Alex, the one kid that survived?" And he's like, "Absolutely not."
And that is
We've
also,
talked about
to me,
this."
that was kind of a red flag. Right.
Right.
She's like, can I talk to him? And he was like, of
course you can.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'll just follow him home from school. It's fine.
So and so her, she's kind of stalkerish.
Little
with
bit,
that, sitting
little
outside the
bit.
house trying to talk to this kid when everyone's told her no.
Yeah.
So he does kind of raise a red flag. We're like, wait.
So
a
I
minute,
think we
is
come
she-
in on his story at the phone call that Justine's making about calling CPA and
Yes.
stuff like that.
CPS.
And CPS. So
she didn't call her CPA because this was taking place after
right.
tax season.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You were fine.
Yeah.
So then we get his story and how he ends up calling Alex's family, and then in walks. We've seen this woman in the movie at certain points, but her makeup has been like kind of Joker-esque.
It's like clown mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Which apparently he has a Joker and Harley script that he wrote.
Interesting.
So he was like, James Gunn.
Can't be worse than.
Hey
Banter
man,
2.
I gotta tell you, if you make the Joker like Freddy Krueger,
like a horror character. Yeah.
that tell jokes that aren't funny but are creepy.
Yeah.
Like that's how he works.
Right.
Go
So
watch-
like if Jay Leno was the Joker? Is that what we're gonna-
No, go watch Nightmare 2. He has one of the scariest versions of Freddy Krueger ever.
Do you see Colbert's response to Jay Leno?
No.
So Jay Leno, after Colbert's firing, we shouldn't get political.
see
Comics
that?
should just be funny. And Stephen Colbert only said, it was John. God, why am I blanking? It wasn't Stephen
John
Colbert.
Oliver?
It was John Oliver about the Stephen Colbert thing or whatever. And John Oliver goes, "I don't think I'll be taking comedy advice from Jay Leno." It was such a great dig. It was one line. He didn't elaborate
That's
on
funny.
it, but it was so funny that he said that.
And how many Monica Lewinsky jokes?
I
did he
know.
do?
Yeah,
Like,
it was
he's
it was
such a
every
hypocrite.
night.
Yeah,
every
he's
night
the worst. He's the
for
worst.
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. So this is where Amy Madigan, right? Yeah, walks in, and he's just like Benedict Wong has never seen this kid's parents.
Well,
so
at this
she just
point,
kind of
we know
accepts
what
it.
the parents look like, and this is the part of the movie where before I knew it, I was like, now wait a minute, how the hell if the parents are zombies
Oh
in the
wait,
house?
then did we get Alex's story first?
No, Alex is the
Is the
end.
last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
There-
But,
okay.
but we
The
see
a-
her.
the
It's Jewel. It's,
Drug addict happens somewhere in there.
The drug addict
Yeah.
and the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Justine is during her story, right? Because we're seeing her follow Alex.
You're right. Yeah.
And so we see the parents inside, and really creepy. She's looking through the windows. Everything's boarded up, newspaper everywhere. And she looks through, and all of a sudden it's two silhouettes of people that
Sit on
look
the
dead on a
couch.
couch.
Yeah.
Right? And so at that point, I'm like, well, he's going to meet with the parents. If they're interviewing her with such scrutiny, of course they're going to interview the parents of the kid, the only one that's there, right? I'm like, well, how are they going to get away with that? They're zombified. And we see it's not the parents that show up, it's the aunt.
Yeah, the aunt. And I like that Benedict Wong's like, wait, so you're not his legal guardian? And she was like, no. He's like,
We're done here. I can't
Yeah,
talk
right.
to you.
I need
Yeah.
to talk to the parents. And
Which
she
is
was like,
realistic, where you're like, okay,
Yeah,
that
that's the
would
thing. Is
happen,
like
yeah.
he's like, no, like I need to talk to the mom and the dad. And she was like, okay.
And I think it's fun this late in a movie to get something like that makes you go even one step more of what is going
Yeah.
on.
I agree.
What is this?
I agree, and you had me right when it was her, because I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
But I didn't know she was a witch. You know what I mean? Like, I just, for some reason, that to
And
me,
we'd seen her on the ceiling, and we saw her in the
Oh,
woods.
we did
but
see
I
her on the
wasn't sure
ceiling.
that
Well,
was
I
her
know,
at the
no,
point
but-
because it was just a creepy.
That was scary.
That was
It
scary.
was.
And him
Good one.
panning around. He loves panning around and scaring me.
Yeah.
Justine wakes up from her nightmare, and then everything seems fine, and she looks up, and they give you like the double nightmare
Yeah,
take. Where it's,
right,
oh,
right, right.
That's like a Freddy Krueger thing, isn't it?
Oh, for
Wake
sure.
up from
Nightmares?
Also-
yeah.
yeah, that's he invented those,
Like,
right?
it's the name of the movies.
But you'll wake up from one of his nightmares, right? And then he'll be there.
Depends
again,
if you
like
pull
a
him out of your
head
nightmare or
fake.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we do get,
So she shows up at their house later. So
but we get
Benedict.
What's his name? Oh, well, yeah. So she shows. That's right. The next day, she shows up at his house, Benedict Wong's house,
Yeah.
and he's just kind of like, again, I
He
appreciate
and his
this.
husband wearing the matching
Which I
Minnie
think
and
is
Mickey
fine.
t-shirts was
Eating
great.
like
I thought it was
10
great.
hot dogs.
It was great. It was like such
He was
a,
like super excited to get
it was
those
such
hot
a
dogs.
lovely like hangout between a.
Yeah.
I just thought it was great.
Watching some wild
Whatever.
on TV, whatever.
And all of a sudden,
wearing public domain T-shirts.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
ding
No
dong.
gloves. No gloves.
Yeah.
And who is it but this crazy Aunt Gladys? And she's like, I missed my bus. And
But I
had to walk
also
over."
appreciate that Benedict Wong is like, you can't be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, there's no moment where he's like, oh, he's buying into it. He's like, no, you
Right.
got to leave. And then when she asked for the bowl, like,
It was great.
can I get can I get some water? And he goes to get her a cup, and she goes, no, a bowl. And I was like,
Yeah.
I thought she was going
Wow.
to drink out of the bowl like
I
an
thought she was
animal.
gonna
Oh,
puke
yeah.
into the bowl.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I thought we were.
But it's
going.
disconcerting again because you're
He
like,
puked.
You're still gonna
He
get
does
puke
have-
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't worry.
Don't you worry your pretty little head about
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna get some Sam Raimi level puke here in a
Yeah.
second.
but this is the reveal. And this at this point is like halfway through the movie because we've seen the cop, we've seen the addict.
We haven't seen them yet.
Really? It's
No, I think we get
No,
their
because this is
sto-
the reveal, and I didn't know that back when
I'm
you.
pretty sure she comes right before Alex's.
Yeah,
You
I think
she's the
she-
second to
think-
last story.
I think
the
so.
reveal's late, man. I'm telling you,
Okay,
because I know
okay.
I was like into it for a lot of the movie. This is great. What's going on here? Kept questioning it, and then I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. I
Yeah.
just remember it took a sharp.
He kept
turn.
waiting for that hypnotist to show up.
Right. And I'm like, come on, please.
The only satisfying conclusion.
We went to Six Flags the previous weekend.
She's gonna pull out a watch and start.
She kind of does.
He was waiting
like
for
the
an
bell.
interior designer to show up.
Yeah, that's exactly
fix
what
the
it was.
blinds.
To fix the blinds.
Yeah.
So she has like this.
Would
stick.
that have satisfied you if she went, "Oh no, they're banging on my door and my blinds are broken"?
She should have went and closed the blinds after the
one
first
line.
creepy thing. That's all I'm saying. But no, so this in witchcraft and the mythology, the writings about witchcraft, this is a tree that has all these thorns. It is a
Man,
real.
The internet. I shouldn't read comments. I know it drives me nuts. But a complaint someone was saying was like, "We're left with so many questions at the end of the movie," and I went,
What?
"What are you talking about?"
What
I think
question?
they
And they
answer
go-
all the questions.
They go, they never explain the tree and how that works.
Isn't the tree in her room?
I mean, it is what it is. What do you
But
want?
what do you have to explain? Is she practices witchcraft, and this tree is apparently part of witchcraft
Yeah,
mythology.
right.
That
That's what I'm saying. There, it's just like
I don't want
I
that.
don't know what people want.
my
movies
problem is they
sometimes.
explain too much. Like I didn't want a logical explanation. I wanted to guess. I like those movies that leave you at the end like, did they or didn't? Like, was it
Sure.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know this movie's good. I'm not saying it ruined it, but you know, what I mean, those movies that keep you thinking, is the top still spinning?
yeah.
Whatever.
I
It's
do
just-
feel like that is seemingly not like Cregger's vibe, right? Like he wants this
wants to give you the
contained,
ending.
fun
Yeah.
Mhm, right.
thing. In this movie, because the narration at the beginning, the kid says, "And they never came back,"
Yeah.
which I think
the
means
kids
that
in
they never
their-
got, which is fine. But I kind of was thinking the same thing, like, oh, this is going to be like a whoa.
I
what-
thought they were
Twin
going to leave us
Peaks.
one. Yeah, exactly.
And right, I think going into his next movie, I will not be thinking, and maybe he'll do it, but
Yeah.
you know.
It'll be
No,
Resident
and that
Evil.
ultimately is the thing where, like, I think that I need to look at this movie as just an experience of what it
Right.
was and the story he was going to tell involved witches, and
yeah.
it's just is what it is.
Me and
It's-
Courtney, my lover,
Oh, of course.
Oh.
both felt like, man, it's kind of not that horror through the middle.
I agree.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
this reminded me of Prisoners a lot. Josh
that's
Brolin,
a good movie.
Oh, it's great. Josh Brolin trying to figure out what happened was
Yes.
very much.
And I was
Prisoners
almost in a weird way, like coming to terms with it, being like, hey, it's not that horror, but that's okay. It's still fun. I'm enjoying it. And then the
You get to Alex's story.
climax is so satisfying.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
That it is. There's like a catharsis. It's
Yeah.
just a really like a good like movie watching experience.
It is.
I guess,
That's what I
you
mean.
know?
The journey, right, as opposed to the destination.
Right.
It's a really entertaining, keeps you guessing kind of thing. But I guess so was Lost, right? And then you get to the end.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
like,
but
oh.
I think Zach Cregger
But this
is
didn't
a-
drag me on for 6 years.
Yeah.
yes. But I mean, but ultimately, it's and that's expectations in our heads, right? It's not. This is the filmmaker telling his story, and this is very personal about
I don't
his
think
loss.
David Lindelof was telling any story.
Well, I mean, technically it was a story. Did they know? I don't think he knew, but
Somebody, there was. This is kind of. No, it isn't. It's on the topic. Someone
Well,
was
then we
talking
don't
about
want to hear it.
how he's doing the next Resident Evil, Zach Cregger.
Yeah.
and it's Paul W.S. Is that the guy?
No, it's the other one.
Yeah,
Who's-
it's Paul W.S. Anderson.
That's the one that did the other ones.
right.
Who
Yeah.
directed Resident Evil?
Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson, right? Wasn't he? Or was the guy who was
It-
married to
no,
Mila?
well-
No, it's Paul W.S. Paul Thomas Anderson is.
He's the good one
Good
that makes
one.
good
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
So somebody left a comment that was like, he'd be a better director if he quit putting his wife in his movies. And I was like,
What?
she's in one scene.
Who's his
Oh,
wife?
you mean Zach Cregger? Cregger.
Yeah, who's his-
Aquamarine. What's her name? She's
Whose
the
wife?
she's Zach Cregger's wife is the woman when Josh Brolin goes to the other parent's house.
Oh, the blonde.
Yeah.
Oh, that's married to Justin Long?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
That's
his-
ridiculous.
So I know
Must
that
hate
because
Kevin
I'm
Smith movies.
I'm a huge Whitest Kids fan. So I
Yeah.
like know what and she's in movies, she's an actress. And then she does a voice in Barbarian. She narrates the
Oh,
video.
interesting.
And so I was like, this is an insane comment. What are you talking
That's
about?
cherry picking. That's
He's
people that.
talking about Mila Jovovich in the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, okay. Yes. 'cause
That's fantastic.
I
yeah.
never leave comments, and I didn't, but I was like reaching for the keyboard, going like, "Dude, you gotta chill."
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say like
That is
no one thought that in this
hilarious.
movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
it's a
so funny.
Bit part. What are you talking about?
So we know that something really weird is going on at Alex's house from the first time we see the parents.
Yeah.
And then the aunt shows up, later on in the movie, whatever. She meets with him. And so now she's at the house and she's acting really weird. She wants a bowl of water.
Right.
And then she's taken out from her purse this bramble, whatever.
It's
this
a branch.
branch from this
Yeah.
tree, really sharp. She cuts her hand.
She cuts
cuts
her
a big-
hand and then like uses her blood to like
Yeah.
coat the stick.
And she has stolen a ribbon or whatever from when she met with the principal in his office. She's stolen a ribbon and is wrapping it around.
That is such a great line where Benedict Wong is looking at the stick and goes, "Is that my ribbon?" And then she breaks the stick.
and then all of a
And
sudden
then he just kind of like kicks his head up and he is under her spell. And then she takes like a piece of the husband's hair
Cuts his
or
hair,
something
yeah, she goes and cuts his hair.
and basically says, "Go get him."
And this was after the Julia Garner scene in the car. So I'm like, oh, there's a through line here. Of
Yeah.
taking
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
So I remember that again. I'm like, oh, she's cutting hair. Okay.
Right. So, and then Benedict Wong, I mean, like, just obliterates his husband's
He turns
face.
into a Terminator, essentially.
Basically,
I mean, he is
he's
just
a,
he's
is
locked
a
on.
weapon.
Well, and that's crazy because we're pretty late in the movie, and this is the first violence really that we've seen, and I
Yeah,
think
because we don't count cops punching handcuffed people as violence. So
it's
that.
justice is what that's
Oh,
called.
okay.
And
I'll,
a lot of
What?
times in horror
Hold on a
movies,
second.
a lot of times in horror movies, they set the expectation for what the violence will be like very early on, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're watching
An
a
early kill.
slasher and that first kill is sort of like bloodless, you're like, oh, okay, I know what this is. Seeing something so brutal so late in a movie is a weird.
When the
thing.
movie
It's
has
cool.
been built around tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when he vomits up like this black,
That was-
it is 100% Sam Raimi. Like that's got to
Right.
be
Well, it was
influenced by
edging
Evil
you
Dead.
the entire time.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah.
And then he just starts headbutting the shit out of him. And by the time you
Tremendous.
get to by the time you get to the last headbutt, the husband's face is just like a crevasse.
This is Drive. That's what happens in the
Oh, yeah.
elevator of
Yeah.
Drive.
Yeah.
Does
The
he
movie is
headbutt him
not
or does he
violent. The
stomp
whole
him?
Well, yeah,
Oh.
the
When
whole
they
movie
sh-
is not violent.
Spoilers.
And then you get ultra violence in the elevator.
When Christina Hendricks takes a shotgun to the face and they show you what's left of Christina Hendricks' face. I've been stuck before.
You have?
100%.
I was going to say one of the scariest parts of the movie, seriously, getting stuck with an addict's unknown
I have,
needle
Oh, yeah.
I
has
have
to be terrifying.
absolutely been stuck. And I have they had to pull me away
Careful.
because I was it's fine. It was years ago.
Yeah.
Because I was same thing. Like
You ask 'em, there's nothing here that's
you
gonna stick
pat
me.
somebody. I even have gloves
Yeah.
that they're basically tattoo artist gloves where they're
They're padded.
they're
or
pat.
something?
They've got
Okay.
like the tips. The fingertips are a little bit more thicker. I was patting. I asked this guy. I was like, "Hey, I don't care. I just need to know before I reach in your pockets.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
have
gonna
anything.
find it,
I don't
so-
have anything.
Yeah, like
I don't
that's
have
the thing
anything.
is like there's no incentive to lie because you're getting patted down. Like
I've
you're
already got
gonna
you.
find
Yeah.
it, so like
Yeah.
at least just
I-
don't hurt somebody.
As I
Yeah.
reached, I'll never forget it. As I reached into his pocket, it went straight
Oh
through my glove into my fingertip.
Oh, that has to be the worst.
And when I pulled my hand out, like the needle was
Oh my
was in
God.
my finger, and I was livid.
I imagine.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he throws that elbow to the back of his head, I was like, nah, I get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely get
And
it.
it was like instantaneous, like right, like
He stuck, bam.
yeah,
And
like
it
it wasn't like he molded over. It was just a reaction.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's kind of hard.
I've been mad.
like
I've
you,
been mad before.
It's one of those things where like you shouldn't, but like I also get it.
That's, I mean, I like that these are all kind of real people.
Right, right.
Nobody's
That's-
really good. The cop is cheating on his
June Diane Ray.
June Diane
right,
Raphael. Yeah.
wife or girlfriend or
Freakier
whatever.
Fridays, June Diane.
By-
Raphael.
Is
she in
She's
that
two
too?
movies
That's
opening
good for
this
her.
weekend.
And lying to Justine about it.
Yeah, yeah.
The heroin, whatever the guy is doing,
Look like
the
that.
homeless
The Addict.
Kid.
James.
when he goes to the Alex's house to rob it and sees the parents are all zombified or whatever, and I was like, oh, are they gonna do a thing where he like heart of gold, like, you know,
does the turn?
and he doesn't.
Does
he
not.
doesn't. He just keeps
No.
robbing the house, and then he uses it to like try to get out of trouble.
Which I think is kind of fun. So yeah, so the drug addict, we've got these
Austin
other two.
Abrams plays James, the addict, and I have to say, so he was the only cast member that survived the delay.
original?
He was in the original cast, and he
Wow.
had to keep that weight off to look like an
Whoa.
addict for
That's
a
tough.
year while
That's
they
tough.
waited for the movie to get made. Like, he was apparently really dedicated. He's really good in this, and he's
Yeah.
really funny. His comedic delivery
I
of
also,
these.
a
was
thing I
good.
appreciate about this movie and the tone shifts is that they're all kind of like different movies, right?
Yep. Yep.
Justine's is like a thriller, and then Archer is sort of this like, I gotta find my kid's
Prisoners.
This
mystery.
becomes like a buddy cop movie.
and it's funny, like it's the almost a people under the stairs like goofy
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
type of thing, and then Alex is just like devastating.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah.
Alex is
Him-
the worst.
Him
I mean the worst,
opening
it's
that
like-
soup was one of the
Oh,
saddest.
It
God.
was. That kid was so good for sure.
And I do love that he's smart enough to know to not get that kind of soup again.
It's right.
It's
very.
I mean, it's a trauma thing
And-
where he's like, I'm not using that can opener again.
and that's a problem with kids in movies. Sometimes get written as adults, or they get written so smart.
Yeah.
But like that was a really good way to show that. Well, he's a smart kid.
Intuitive?
He can figure things out.
Yeah.
But also he doesn't know how to use a can opener, so he's
Right.
still a dumb kid.
But I think I think from his story, this is a kid that is suffering from abuse, right? It's like the
Oh,
aunt,
100%.
the aunt is like, don't tell anybody I'm here, don't tell anybody about this, or I'm gonna hurt your
That
parents.
was another comment I saw was someone saying like, how would she know if he told anyone? Like, I don't think
When
she,
they show up at
well,
his house.
First
Yeah.
of all,
Or he says, hey, you know those 17 kids are missing? They're in my basement.
But how many kids are abused? And you hear about, it's
That's
been
what I'm
5
saying.
years and they've been trapped in a basement and they never told
You
me.
don't-
I saw him at the grocery store. He looked a little hungry, but you know what I mean. Like,
I've never told you that story. Do you
you
remember?
were in the
No, but do you remember the Sean
Hornbeck.
Hornbeck.
That's what I was thinking too.
and the other kid, Dylan? No,
Ben.
Ben Ownby.
Ben. Okay, have I not told this story
I
before?
don't think so.
Those kids, which was the first one to go?
Sean Hornbeck
Sean
was
Hornbeck.
first, and then Ben Ownby was going to be the replacement.
Right.
Oh.
Sean Hornbeck, Mike Devlin lived in Crestwood.
He
Sean
worked at like the emos.
He
There.
Yeah.
worked at absolutely worked at the emos. I have a story about that. Sean Hornbeck used to come into the Blockbuster at Lee May Ferry and Watson, but he was so much older, nobody recognized. He
Right.
had a movie pass and a game
my
pass.
gosh.
He came in there every day.
Unbelievable that so you could just be living with all that happening and no one knows.
Nobody knows.
And that's what I'm saying. For one, maybe she'd know because she's a witch.
right? But two,
And two-
even if that's not the case, like people say that all the time, and the kids are just like, "Well, that could be true. I got to be careful."
Right.
Right. Well, I think when we get to the
when you see what she does to the parents, like
Well,
the whole
I
time she
yeah.
says that
I wanna-
after you've
I
seen
want to
it.
burn through the cop and the junkie.
Yeah,
real
for
quick.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
like
The cop is John C. Reilly in Magnolia. When you watch Magnolia,
Yes.
you'll
Oh,
understand.
okay.
He goes, John C. Reilly's mustache is in the movie.
That's funny.
because that's why he has a big mustache. Yeah.
So we find out that this cop had a relationship with Justine at one point, but it was off the. He was definitely involved with his fiance. He shows up at the end of her story where he's basically like, I didn't think you'd show up there at the bar. He is waving off the drinks. She's kind of giving him about waving off the drinks. And then finally he breaks down and he wakes up in her bed. And I do think that's a very funny moment where she's playing like, hey, like you need to get up and get out.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, fine. So then we see his story later where he's on patrol. We find out that his father-in-law, I think, right, is the chief of police, who is Toby Hess, Halloween's
peanut butter on my penis.
That's right. That's right.
Not his pants.
Not his pants.
That's the way I would have said it.
Said it to his daughter. That's exactly right.
Oh my god, forgot about that.
So we've got this, he's going out on patrol. This is where we see a different version where after Justine has made a complaint about the car, we see that they have a weird interaction. So now we're seeing it from the flip side. And he's whatever. So he sees the drug addict trying to break into a building, and it basically becomes like a Benny Hill sketch where this kid's running through the alleys.
They do play yakety sax.
He's driving around, and finally they meet up.
I would have stopped and went the other way. I just think like when you see a cop car going this way and you're on foot running this way,
you're a
looking at
sober person making these decisions.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, God, if you just turned,
Not only sober, but you're not in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, you're
I
trying
would
to
have
get
never
away.
broken into a building.
I would have never taken heroin.
That's right.
Well,
but it's the same
live
thing.
a little,
It's
buddy.
the same thing as running in a straight line behind Godzilla. Though.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's like
Serpentine,
it's like
goddammit.
yeah.
So they end up catching up to each other, and this is the whole scene where he's got him. He's not even like at this point. He's not even being a dick cop. Like he's being like, hey,
Right.
they have a
for
chase
sure.
where he's like, are you okay? Like let's get you up. We'll get
He
you.
tackles him, right?
Yeah,
So
he
he's-
tackles him pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
and
tackle.
he's like, yes, sir, yes, officer. He's being very respectful,
Both of
trying to be
them
like,
are-
hey, I'm just trying to
Like,
get
it's
my...
just business.
just
yeah,
business.
for sure.
Right, and then he reaches into his pocket and he gets stuck with a needle, and he
And now it's
elbows him in the
personal.
back of the head.
Yeah.
And
and he sees his patrol cars.
This is a great. I
recording.
think this is a great reaction where he's just kind of like he didn't even. I think Tom's right. It wasn't even.
He didn't have time to
He
think
hit
about
him
it. He
because he was
reacted, yeah.
pissed
Right.
and realized what had happened, and then he looks at his camera in the car and he was like, which he's also got a body camera,
Right.
Like there's two
Right.
Well,
versions
that's
of
interesting.
evidence.
Well, but that's interesting though because I figured that he went
He's
to the
so
patr-
close up to him.
Yeah,
when he
maybe
does
you wouldn't
it.
have seen it.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
could be-
know.
that
I
could
mean,
be.
you could probably surmise, but you would have to really drill
Yeah.
down. Where with the dashboard, it's just
Right. So he's
Yeah.
freaking out. He's
But he
going
tells the guy, he wakes him up and he's like, hey, buddy, you did me wrong. I did you wrong. We're
Get
gonna-
outta here.
Yeah, don't let me see you
Don't
again.
let me see you again. But I do like that he again to this. He's definitely got some flaws, but he does immediately go to his boss. And he's like,
Right.
"Look,
I did a
thing."
Yeah.
And the boss is like, "All right, like as long as he doesn't press charges, this is gonna sit in a hard drive somewhere in a
Get
month, and
overwritten.
we'll be fine." And he was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So that's the end of that story. Then we
I
get,
also like that he's like, but if he files a complaint,
you're screwed.
Right.
we're
bud."
gonna throw you under the bus.
Right.
Yeah,
Like you did.
right.
You did something.
You did something dumb.
Yeah.
And then we get the
addict's point of
addict's
view.
point of view, where it's
I
kind
really
of
liked this one. At first I wasn't sure about the character, but then when you see his story and everything he's doing,
Yeah.
and just his comedic delivery of like the being out of it because he's an addict, the things he said, I don't know,
Right.
it was very endearing.
we get the exact same stuff. He gets cut loose. He realizes he tries to steal an iPad that the pawn guy's like, absolutely
Yeah.
not. I don't want anything to do with that. So he breaks into Alex's house
Mm-hmm.
and he starts stealing all this stuff. And then he sees, what does he? I guess he doesn't see. He sees the parents sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
And
because he's
now-
loading
and
up
now they look
silverware.
disheveled and they've got marks on their face.
Well, it is funny that he's stealing silverware and then he sees the parents and you know what's up with the parents. That's funny thinking
Oh,
back
wow,
on it.
yeah.
Because you didn't know at the time that what happened to them.
Right.
That's
So
funny.
he is, kind of doing his thing, and he goes downstairs and he sees.
But that's the fancy silver. That's
Yeah.
not what they used on their face.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
didn't use the good silver.
That's not the
That's the.
You don't eat. That's not everyday
No,
silver.
no,
right.
no.
He goes downstairs, and this is the reveal that all of the kids are there. They're all there, and he was like, "I gotta go," and he gets out of there. He sells the.
I think the other thing that bothers me thinking back on it now is that it seems too obvious. He's the only. Okay, if you were a detective, right, and you're trying to track down all the kids from a class disappear except one, where are you gonna think the kids are? It's
They
either
did. They go.
But they do.
go.
They go
Yeah.
there, and they show you that like later that like they sent all
Yeah.
the kids away.
Yeah,
when
Amy
the cops
Madigan-
came over.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying the answer was exactly what you'd think it was,
Right.
and I
I
think
think
that
that's
kind of
the
made me
best.
like, of course, where else could they be?
I think that's the best. And
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I love
Because
it.
they go down that road, it's not happening.
Right.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
their perspective,
Right.
and then they're just like it's like such a ridiculous notion
Yeah.
that like this other third grader
Yeah,
stole
could be
them
involved
all,
in
Yeah.
all of this.
For
right?
sure.
That
I-
you're just like, okay, well then, yeah, we checked it, we kicked the tires on that one,
But everyone was like, "You got it's either got to be the teacher or the kid, right?" And then it was
You're-
the kid.
You're
so
saying like as the viewer, like in the not in the world of the movie,
Yeah.
but the answer
yes,
for the
yes,
movie.
that is
yeah.
what I'm saying. It ended up being the only reasonable explanation because we know it's not the teacher.
But
we
that's-
know she didn't.
I
take
will
him.
tell you that to me felt real.
Yeah.
Like the answer is the one it should be.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you can go all these different
Yeah.
weird ways with it, however you want.
Because
But it's like
I mean, right? Like, well, would it be? I mean, this isn't the only other option, but if it was like aliens abducted
No,
them,
that's what I'm saying.
like,
I don't
that
have a
seems-
better option, but I just mean I'm trying to explain my process watching the
Right.
movie. I'm like, oh, well, of course it's
Because I
gotta
think
be
I
the
think
kid's house. Like,
it has to come in internally from the movie, right? Like it has to be something we've seen,
Right.
Or else it's just going to be like, what is
What?
this?
for sure.
so yeah,
So we see them. He's going down the stairs, and all of a sudden he's
They
like,
all
he sees these
turn.
kids all standing in rows.
Yeah.
Just
and then so he's like fuck this
Yeah.
and leaves, and he takes the silverware to the pawn shop, and then behind the guy in the pawn shop is a $50,000 reward for
oh
all
no,
of these
no,
missing
no.
kids.
He tries to get out the door, and the parents stand up and start approaching him.
Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
freaks out
Oh,
trying to get out
okay,
the door. It's
okay.
latched. The
Yeah,
chains
you're right,
on
you're
there.
right, you're
And it's
right.
really creepy. Now I wonder in that scene, how did the witch get something of his, and we don't see her there or telling them
I
to
think she-
attack him?
She-
They only attack
well,
when you
but
trigger a weapon.
Later they cross the salt, and that sets him off.
Mhm.
So maybe there's a
But
you
she
know,
didn't have s-
Well, I
but
mean,
like an
he
alarm
could have left
system.
something behind when he was in the house. He could have.
yeah.
Yeah,
you
but she
know.
wasn't there.
We didn't see her at that moment.
Or she was
Oh,
up-
she's there.
I
She's
think
up.
she's
I think she's
upstairs.
Yeah.
upstairs.
But how did she get something? I don't know.
But,
I'm just
well,
curious.
she could have got something because they both come back.
Mhm.
But the cop and the junkie
But
come
not at that point.
I guess
later.
I'm just saying. Like,
I mean, why did the parents attack him? Is what I'm saying. They were not triggered. The weapons stand there until they're triggered by her breaking the
I
bramble
see
with
what
the
you're
thing.
saying.
So, but he gets in the house. He gets their silverware. He goes downstairs, sees the kids. Then he tries to go out the front door, and the parents get up and attack. But they're not.
They're not
trig-
attacking. They're just kind of like moving.
Yeah, I don't get. But I don't
But
get it because
we-
in the
but-
movie's rules, you either
But later in
stand there.
at one
or-
point in the movie, when the aunt is talking to the cops with Alex there, they've got the dad there,
Yeah.
and she says that like he suffered a stroke. So maybe
which was a brilliant explanation.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
then I go,
and putting the makeup on.
I go,
Yeah.
how did the detectives interview him if the parents are out of it and she's the aunt? But to say he had a stroke, I
stroke.
just thought that piece of
He's
writing was the most
non-communicative.
was the most
Communicative.
brilliant.
There are so many movies, much like your problem with the blinds. One line of "my blinds are broken" would have fixed it.
We say that all the time. yeah.
but
straight
tru-
dialogue, just
Truly, right? Just one line.
Yes.
Right.
And
that fixed my
obviously,
entire yeah
the dad having a stroke, like they would know that.
happen.
And
medical
where's the
records or
mom
something.
anyway, and whatever. But it's enough. It's enough to go like, okay,
Got it.
They're thinking about it. Good enough.
Absolutely, that's because it is a movie after all, right? You just need that one thing.
That's all you need.
So anyway, going back to creepy McGillicuddy, the aunt.
Oh yeah. So now we should say that like the junkie shows back up. At this point, the cops' world is becoming unraveled because
Oh yeah, so he at the pawn shop pawning the silver
Sees
sees there's
the
a $50,000 reward for these kids.
and then we know that he, Ensign, I was calling it Ensign Algor. That's not who that is. It's not Han Solo or the new Han Solo. Goes home.
Alden Ehrenreich.
I'm not even gonna try.
Okay. Han Solo. Just
Han
Han Solo.
Solo.
We know that Harrison.
We know
Ford's
that
not in this.
his wife. So he's told Justine that like no, we're on the outs, and then they hook up.
Mm-hmm.
He goes home. We know that his wife wasn't supposed to come home until Thursday. She
She's
comes
on a
home
business trip.
early.
Comes early.
He walks in the door, and all of her stuff is there, and he was just kind of like,
Yeah. Where were you?
And he
And then-
doesn't say, but she knows.
Yeah.
She
like, "You son of a
confronts
bitch."
She confronts Justine.
Well, I love that because you assume it's one of the parents or something.
exactly
and then
it. Right.
It being another, a different person.
She's
At the liquor store.
At the liquor store,
Mhm.
she's dousing her, and this is the moment where I was like, "Oh, that's June Diane Raphael.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool." And to Justine's credit, he said that they were on the outs
Right.
and she wasn't in town. So it's like, you can't really be mad at her. Like,
I know. And I think going back to Matt's thing, all these characters are human, real
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And that's what makes
Yeah.
it interesting. We talk about Stephen King writing characters. These are people with flaws. These are interesting.
And also, it's obvious too that Justine has been a problem in their
Right.
relationship.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
he still has some sort of feelings or fixation on her
Yeah.
that has been an ongoing problem.
Yeah.
Because she instantly knows what happened.
where
and who
were you?
went.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so
And she knows where to find her.
also, that's, I mean,
Just wait
not
at the
wrong.
liquor store long
Yeah.
enough.
and that's
which shows
actually
you,
it's a great scene though, because it is kind of like that scene in It when I almost call it the fat kid is reading up on the history of dairy, and you see like the librarian in the background, and her face like starts to morph into Pennywise's face. You see you see this character like lurking in the like.
Oh, right.
It's filmed the exact same way that we had seen it before.
Yeah.
But now every time Justine turns, there's this woman behind her, and you're like, "What? Well, something's gonna happen." And
Yeah.
then it's a real world thing, rather
Hey,
than
you know, a thing I thought was cool in this that was scary, and you see it in other movies. Okay, so you keep in dreams and stuff. They keep seeing the kids with like clown makeup on,
Yeah.
and it's scary, whatever. And but they do that in movies, and it's like, what do you do? Like, why? Like,
I thought it was okay. When Justine has the dream, it's the Alex
Yeah.
with clown makeup
all
in
the
her
kids
classroom.
are there, but Alex is the one that picks his head up.
Yeah, and then but in Archer's dream, I thought it was the aunt in the bed.
It is.
It was.
well,
Okay.
and it's her makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like when horror movies just do a thing to be scary, it's whatever, it's fine, but it is kind of like you're just
just
being
doing it to-
scary.
right.
Yeah.
It's cool that it's connected to something in the story that they are wearing Gladys.
Gladys.
Gladys,
It is Gladys.
yes.
Yeah.
Gladys's makeup, so it's not just this random like. Wouldn't
That's-
it be scary if they look like clowns?
That's my point with the knocking on the door and the witch riding or whatever. Like I think that was just a scary moment. I can't connect who was knocking on the door. Was it him? It's scary for scary.
I hear you. I just don't know that Krieger does that.
Like you're looking for a line where Archer says, "Wow, I haven't ran this fast since track."
or he's just like out of breath
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he's in the car.
I'm glad I kept up with my cardio.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So the cop has to, his boss is his father-in-law. He has just cheated on his his wife. Has to go into work, and I love this scene where he has to walk past the chief's office, and he just looks at him, and he was just like, God,
he
dang
knows,
it."
yeah.
And then he goes outside, and he sees the junkie, and we know the junkie
And at
is
this
now
point,
walking
yeah.
to the police station.
He's so pissed off at this point.
They interact. There's this chase scene. The junkie like stabs him in the face with the needles.
Him keep getting stabbed was
Yeah.
very funny. And that's another one of those comedic moments, levity out of this crazy situation.
right.
It's like he stabbed him again because we think maybe at the tent that the Aunt Gladys, some creepy thing's coming to get him.
Yeah, no,
but it's
the
actually the
cop.
cop, and he
Yeah.
gets stabbed with 3 needles in the
Right.
face. And he's like, "Oh my god, again!"
So he gets him in the car, and the guy and the junkie says, "Look, I know where those kids
No, he almost
are."
blows his head off,
Yeah.
and then he says,
Oh,
"I know where
that's
the
true,
kids
that's
are."
true.
That's the only reason
Yeah,
he lives.
I know.
think,
I
at
know where
this
those
point.
kids are, and
Yeah.
they go to Alex's house, and then that's the last time we
Well,
see.
and
these-
it's another creepy point of view though, because at this point the cop car is parked outside the house, much like Justine in her car.
Yeah.
And we just see the door open.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
The
And
door
then
opening of that house is consistently extremely.
What I
creepy.
love about it is the door opens into the house, and it's just black.
Yeah.
Like
And
you can't.
The
see
cop
anything.
walks in and the door shuts, and that's daytime, and then we just smash cut to nighttime, and the
Right.
junkie's still in the car. And he's like, "Man, come on, what?" And then the door opens, and the cop comes, but he's doing now the like T-1000 thing, right? He charges out to the car and drags the junkie to the
in.
darkness.
Right, and then we flash back to.
And this is Alex, right?
We get Alex's story, and basically his life is, he's picked on. He's got, Matthew, James, that's his dad. Josh Brolin's kid is
James Brolin's son.
Brolin's son. Yes, correct. He's and he's just living his kind of existence, right? Parents love him. Parents are great.
Yeah, the dad seems really nice, so there's not a troubled home life at this point.
Right. And then Aunt Gladys shows up, and things start to get weird. So they give you an idea of like what this kid's routine is, where his dad drops him off, his dad picks him up, and they have like this conversation in the car. Well, then his dad stopped showing up. So he goes home, and his parents are sitting at the table, and Aunt Gladys is there, and she's got her hair, hair wrapped up. And this is where we find out, like, what the hell is actually going on. Basically, Aunt Gladys says, I can make them kill each other. I can make them do this. I can make them eat each other. And I was like, oh, they're going to eat each other. Like, this is, if you're not going to tell me that in this kind of movie, then it's not going to happen. It doesn't happen.
The stabbing in the face with forks was gnarly.
It's so unnerving because
it doesn't pan.
It doesn't pan,
right?
but also, like, there's no reaction.
Yes.
They're just stabbing themselves in the face.
But the way the camera sticks with it as they are stabbing themselves, getting bloody, whatever, in their face is so unnerving. And then he's like, stop. He goes up to his dad. He's like, stop doing this, whatever. And then she stops him, right? And it's just like, you're going to do this. You're not going to tell anyone.
We basically find out that she is dying. Like, Gladys is dying or getting, like, she's aging.
Sick, whatever.
And she thought that having these two as, like, the to siphon off their life force would be enough, and it's not.
I think she's so old and drained that it's like she needs something more
what
powerful.
I think is great is when we see her throughout most of this movie, she is hobbling. By the time we get to the end, she is full on sprinting because she's siphoned enough off that she is getting younger. So they basically, she says, I need you to find me something of each one of the kids in your class. So he comes up with this idea, and he takes all of the name tags off of
their little bins
in
the classroom.
I thought it was pretty smart because you see him looking around and they show you how hard it would be to get this guy's a racer and this whatever. And then he comes up with this brilliant idea. I can't remember. Apparently there's a scene in the script where they're giving each other Valentines and they were going to use the Valentines.
They took out it was Valentines and they took that out.
So those were just cubbies. I didn't know if those were Valentine boxes. Maybe that was a completely separate idea.
Yeah.
But
so that's how we end up here is all of these kids. She does the ritual, she breaks the thing, and then all these kids take off.
And we see the really creepy scene of them all running out of their house and then running through the streets and meeting up together.
The creepiest scene for me is Gladys standing on, like, the stoop of the house,
waiting
and
for them to
seeing
come
those
in.
kids round the corner. I don't know if just the way it was shot, I thought was
so creepy,
unnerving to see them all running around the corner.
And they run into the door and funnel into the basement. And I will say, though, between Alex's beginning of the story and here, we're seeing him live his life, and it is so sad. He's trying to struggle opening cans of soup and spoon feed his parents with it dripping all over him.
Trying to feed these
And then
kids.
he has to
bully. He's got to feed his.
All right.
But that is the thing about that
so
character
sweet.
that shows you how good of a kid Alex is. As he feeds the bully, because I thought he was going to let the bully suffer.
Yeah.
Because in these movies, when you get revenge, usually it's like, I'm not going to feed him or whatever.
Yeah.
He's spoon feeding the bully, and like he's a good kid. And it's so sad because he was picked on the whole movie, and now he's dealing with this.
Right. And now his kid is.
But he goes to the grocery store and he buys the cans with the pull top, so he doesn't have to struggle.
He's a smart kid.
Yeah, it's just like he's walking down the street with his bag of cans, like
Yeah.
I will say you got to try to not find a pull top soup can.
I know, especially
Right.
now.
That's-
Yeah, now.
soup.
Right.
Gladys probably had those from the 80s.
Yeah, it was just old soup.
Yeah.
So now that Archer has seen what happened to Justine, he realizes, all right, there's definitely something else going on here. Benedict Wong gets hit by a car. This is what even more
Wild.
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and he is like a heat-sinking missile. Like, it doesn't matter what you do to him unless you squish his head. And he gets hit by this car, and it reminded me of Smile 2 when the guy gets, spoilers for Smile 2, the first 5 minutes of that movie, when the guy gets hit by the car, you know?
At this point now, when anyone's running around near a street, you know they're going to get hit by a car.
I spent the whole movie waiting for somebody to get
hit by a car. Yeah, right. So Justine and Archer team up. Like, you know, Archer has.
I like that they were both brought together. For
he
the
realizes
greater
that he
good.
was wrong.
Yeah.
And maybe she's on to something. So they team up. They go to this house, and they're just kind of Alex's house, and the cop car's there, and she's like, "What do we do? We wait?" And as soon as she says, "Do we wait?" the door opens, and here come Paul. It's Paul. Paul walks out and like does the creepiest like come
Yes,
here.
it was so
and
funny.
like the two of them are like, all right, and like get out of the car and go into the house.
Yeah, the walking out like a zombie, being like, and then turning around was just another one of those funny moments.
So now this is, I mean, all hell is breaking loose in this house. Like the parents are going out. Paul and the junkie are going after people, like the parents are going after the kid, and you're going to tell me this isn't straight out of The Shining when the mom is smashing on the door.
Apparently
and like,
that's
sticks
where
her head.
217 comes from.
Could have.
The room in the book.
Absolutely could have.
Yeah.
And
Well, he said it.
and a creepy old lady.
He said he
oh,
took
he did
it
say
directly
that?
from The
Oh,
Shining.
okay. And then with the creepy old lady in room 217?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all
I mean, in
it's all
interviews,
there.
he literally goes like, "No, I lifted this directly
Yeah.
from the
Which is not in the movie.
no 237
237.
Yeah.
In the book, it's 217.
Yeah.
So you've got all these different like fights going on. The kid ends up getting himself into the bathroom, and he realizes he has locked himself in the bathroom with
the witch.
With
No,
the
she-
tree.
Well, yeah, but the witch is in there.
She's in the basement.
She's in the basement.
Oh, that was me thinking that she was in there, and
Yeah.
then come to find out she jumps out in the basement.
It's the parents that are trying to get in because like basically
Here's
he says
Johnny.
don't. Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is. Don't cross the salt.
Mhm.
And of course, as soon as she crosses the salt,
that triggers the weapons
Yes.
as well. You're right.
So the kids puts it
ADT
together.
came by and hooked her up with magical
Yeah,
security
right,
once
right.
they crossed the line.
So he realizes he's in here with the thing, and he says, "Fuck it."
It's awesome, yeah.
And
He grabs her wig.
Yeah, which
it
I thought
has
was good.
strands of her little hair that's clinging on
Yeah.
in it, and he wraps it around.
That's how I drug tested my ex-wife.
Are you serious?
Got hair from the bathroom.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
test this.
and
How
it's-
did you know it wasn't going to be one of your hairs?
See, that's the same thing the guardian ad litem asked me.
Oh, really?
Well, he was like, my lawyer stepped in and was like, I know we have a chain of custody issue on the hair. And I was like, I mean, it's not mine.
yeah.
Pointing to my bald
Look at
head.
this.
And the GAL at that point, because I had already shown him videos of
Yeah.
her and like taking the kids to the Motel 6 in
Ugh.
Eureka. And TripAdvisor,
Yeah.
the year before, had declared it the second dirtiest motel in America.
Oh my God!
Like,
in America.
in America.
How many motels are there in
Yeah,
America?
and I like printed
that's-
that out. I'm like, here's, if you're curious, like maybe it's one of the nice Motel 6s.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm like, it is not. But yeah, the Guardian ad litem was like, oh, it's her hair. He was just so dismissive. He's like, well, I think we know what's going on.
We
here.
got
Like,
it.
Yeah. So
So Alex breaks the stick, and these kids.
Oh man!
She realizes
scene was
what's
so
happened.
cool.
yeah,
Well,
it's
and-
like, oh no.
I
Yeah.
thought it was going to turn, which is the rules of the movie. It worked exactly how it would have. I thought that I'm thinking all the adults are going to go after her.
I thought the same thing
and
too.
when the kids start running out of the
Yeah,
basement, that
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like,
I thought the parents were gonna then stop and
yeah.
then go after her. But yeah, when the kids run up all in unison and start busting through
I
windows,
think the best
and-
part is when she realizes,
Yeah.
she hears the snap, and she was like, "Oh no!"
and it's so funny.
yes,
Her reaction and them running through windows as she's going through houses. She opens the back door of a house, runs through it, and the family in that house is just like, wait, what? What is happening? And then the kids burst through the back windows and they're all just like, oh my God.
It's like-
so funny.
Well, I mean, and if you're gonna say that they stole the door thing from The Shining, I can't help but think this is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
it's hard to not
True, yeah.
running through backyards and
Yeah.
through people's houses,
Which has now
and-
become a trope in so many movies.
For
But
sure.
you're right. Like, yeah, running through the house. They did that in, I think in Jurassic World, they do that when they're on a chase. The
Oh,
one that
maybe.
turned into an action movie, that next to last one, Dominion or whatever.
Okay.
Where they're like, she's running away from raptors and Claire is, and she's like jumping through apartment
Oh.
buildings and they're chasing her. Raptors are chasing
I
her.
don't know that I
through
saw that one.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's a thing.
it's a fear of mine that you guys will ask me to do one of the Jurassic Parks, and then I have to watch them all.
You've just guaranteed.
Yeah,
that
it's coming, brother.
Wait for the next one.
So they end up catching up to her, and they rip her apart. And this is Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
is the
oh, yeah.
death of the guy, the main guy. From
I
Dawn of the
laughed
Dead.
out loud at this moment,
It
like
was
I was in the Naked Gun.
horrifying and funny at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
literally
yeah.
laughed out loud.
Without
like,
the humor undermining the
I think
horror.
that the scene that is
Exactly.
funny is
Yeah.
you see her running, like it's a shot down a gangway.
Yeah.
And you see her running, and then it's just like this army of children running
She
after
gets
her.
tackled by one, and the rest
It's
catch up.
swarm on
and
her.
they just start pulling her body parts apart.
Yep.
Her jaw is
I mean,
torn
if
off.
you've seen Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah.
So it's the what's the guy's name? Oh no,
It's not. That's
it's Day of the Dead. This is Day of
Roads.
the Rhodes. Yeah, choke on him.
Choke on.
Yeah. But
Which is a great.
it was awesome because this whole time, this woman's so terrible, and especially the way she treated Alex, and then
Yeah.
obviously the rest of the kids. The justice, like, it's just such an exciting moment when they tear her apart. Like,
It's tough because this isn't a happy ending, right?
Oh, not
This
at
isn't-
all, no.
You know, like in Barbarian, the gal walks away. Like the gal.
the monster falls off a tower or whatever.
The
so
what?
works.
Who? What? No. He dies in the basement.
Yeah, he gets
what are you
shot.
talking about?
Yeah, Justice Long shoots him in the head. But like that main character that you follow the entire time survives and walks away. This one, yeah, Justine walks away, but she also did just shoot.
Right.
Did she shoot Alex's parents?
No, the parents are still alive.
She shoots the
Are
cop
they?
in the head,
but they're just not.
and she shoots whoever is trying to.
I think
The
it is
junkie guy.
the
The
junkie
junkie who's
and
trying to-
Alex, or the junkie and Paul both
Yeah.
get shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's even, when
Are would you say she has trauma now?
I would say she's got a little bit,
Okay.
a little bit.
Hey, spin-off Archer and Justine buddy cop spin-off.
But they say, when the witch dies, when Gladys dies, Josh Brolin is released from whatever spell he was
So
under.
okay, this is how I take this, right? So the kids were under control for so long, months have passed.
Yeah.
She's been draining them for months.
Same thing with the parents.
Right? And the parents have been drained for even longer than that. They say that the parents never talked again,
recovered.
but someone else is feeding them soup now. So they're in a mental institution somewhere is the way I take it, right? But yeah, Josh Brolin snaps out of it.
I mean, and
He was under control for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the longer she drains you of your life force, whatever your essence, your soul, like there's nothing left. They're shells.
Well, they say that like the kids never talked again.
She
but-
said,
Some
but
started.
she
Matt-
said
but
some have
Matthew-
started to talk again.
Yeah,
And I think it's because they're so young with so much life to live that they were able to recover a little bit.
Right.
But like adults that were under her spell for 6 months, like they're drained. And that's
yeah.
why she had to get the kids, right? They were
Right.
tapped out.
Right. And you could see like her hair has grown. By the time we see her running, at one point we see her
She has
with
like braids.
tight.
They're like,
Well, you see her with like tight little braids, but
Yeah.
she's bald for the most part.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the end, her hair has basically grown back, and she's sprinting down the.
had it grown back
Yeah.
that much? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was.
I mean, she's sprinting full speed,
Right.
so like her body has
yeah.
like started.
I just
to
still thought her
regenerate.
hair looked very stringy
It
and
did.
nasty.
It
but
did,
I guess
but
she
it-
had more.
Yeah.
I thought she looked good.
You thought she looked good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to shame her for her age. I mean, she's probably 300 years old. So.
Maybe
By the end, I'm like, well, is she a bad guy? Because she's starting to get hot.
Yeah, and that's how this ends. Is it ends with Josh Brolin walking down the street with his son in his arms.
Yeah, who's just a shell.
It's just a
The kids are just shells.
And I do like that, where like in the beginning, the narrator says
Yeah.
these kids they never
came back.
They never came back. They didn't say they were never found.
Yeah.
Which
but
was
they
smart,
said that they
which was
never came back.
again.
And I think that's a good
The
little
writing
line.
is very smart. This is
Yeah.
a well-written movie.
I think I was worried that it was going to be a sophomore slump, and it is not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited that we talked about Hollywood, and we'll wrap this up. We talked about Hollywood, how the studio system has become focused on IPs.
Mhm.
I feel like for some directors, and I'm not including Zach Cregger in this, that the goal is to get to that IP, right? Like the
Yeah.
goal is to get to a Marvel movie, to get to a DC movie, to get to a Star Wars movie, to get to a Harry Potter, whatever the IP is. And sometimes when you do that, you have the ability and you get paid more. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line. You get paid
One
more.
for them, one for me.
I don't want these guys who have come up in this new horror class. I hope that that does not happen. I hope that not that they have to stay in horror, but that they don't make that jump and then you're stuck in the Marvel turnaround
Right.
bin for the next
He-
20 years.
a good thing about him too is he plays games. Like he's a
Oh, is that right?
gamer. He beat Dark Souls without dying.
Oh, wow.
So he's like way in. So for him to be doing a Resident Evil does feel
That's
a little
exciting.
more like, well, I think he cares about this stuff.
He's going to actually make it a horror movie.
It's like a guy doing a superhero comic that loves the superhero.
yeah,
It's like
right.
the Russos.
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
No,
I mean,
but the Russos were huge comic book fans, and they would have never had a chance. But Jon Favreau's like, hey, these guys really know their stuff. Got him that meeting, and I mean, Winter Soldier, obviously leading to the Avengers stuff. Like they made great Marvel
So
movies.
good. They're like, can you come back, please?
They're so good they might only be able to make comic book movies.
I mean, based on results.
Yeah.
That's what
it's
I'm
not-
saying.
it's not
Like, and now
wrong.
they're coming back. They've made the highest grossing movies of all time, and now they're coming back to do a direct sequel, the next Avengers movie.
Yeah,
so
next
like,
two.
yeah. So it's like
I mean, look, it is
people
what
that love the
I just
property.
I don't want these guys and gals to get thrown into the
machine.
the machine, and then you lose them. Denny Villeneuve is a prime example of somebody that I think you have lost some probably great films that guy was going to do.
God, but the films he does make are so good.
But when he's been doing Dune
But
for
you want
15
the original
years.
properties, I get it. But
when you have movies on your roster like Prisoners, like Arrival, like Enemy, you've got all, and those
Enemy's awesome.
Those are banger movies,
Yep.
and then you're kind of doing Dune for the next 20
yeah,
years.
he might go back. But but
he's jumping to James Bond. So he's not going to do anything original for.
Yeah, that's tough. Hopefully he will.
Yeah,
and hopefully these guys will. I do think you tend to see these younger filmmakers though that know that they can find success with the art house type stuff, like I don't want to say art house. It's getting bigger, right? Like these movies are making a lot of money, but I think like Jordan Peele didn't go from Get Out to a Marvel movie. He's made 3 really good, unique.
That has to be a choice because he could have.
He absolutely could have.
Exactly, but I think people are choosing now to kind of live in this world. Ari Aster is another example.
I'm worried about Ari
But his
Aster.
movies keep making money.
But I don't.
Well, not now maybe, but like his movies made a lot of money. He
Right.
probably could have jumped from his early movies to a big one, but he's like, I'm gonna make weird little movies.
What is interesting though is Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is one that did his independent stuff, jumped into the Marvel machine, and was like, I'm gonna go over here and do this. Yeah.
I loved What Was Afraid, and I loved Eddington, and neither of them made money.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm wondering what's gonna happen.
Look at Francis Ford Coppola. He could people would not give him money to make his passion projects because they didn't make any money.
And they suck.
Yeah, was it after Cotton Club? Which one did he fall at? Did he do Bonfire of the Vanities?
No, that was
that's Brian De Palma.
Okay.
So, but he did One from the Heart is the one. That
the
really,
one that sunk. Yeah.
That really sunk him, the zoetrope and all that. But One from the Heart, and then I think Cotton Club is next, and he's trying to recapture Godfather, but they edited it.
Yeah.
They cut it. It's basically like about white mob and black mob, and they were like, "There's too many black people," and they basically got rid of
Cotton Club.
Cotton Club. Yeah, I mean Cotton Club. If you know what the Cotton Club is,
Yeah,
like how do you make
right.
a movie called Cotton Club and not have black people in it?
Oh, it stars Richard Gere. Perfect.
Yeah, and so they cut a whole bunch of the black character subplots, and the movie just
Is he
was
trying to
all-
re-edit it? Is that what
He
you said?
has. It's out there.
Oh.
It's out there. I picked it up on Vudu for like $5.
give
It's
that a look.
Cotton Club, the Encore edition.
Okay,
Is the one
okay.
you want.
Man,
Yeah.
he does that a lot, doesn't he?
He's done it on
more
all,
like
on
the
all,
woke edition.
Was
He's
it
done it on every one of his
Outsiders?
movies. There's a version of Outsiders with an extra like
22 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 25.
Is there
but
really?
Yeah, it's called The Outsiders, the complete novel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the original one's only 90 minutes.
I was gonna say it's a quick.
Now it's a short book, but like
Make it
that's
longer.
a short.
See, they're
movie.
both on sale on Vudu, and I didn't know which one to buy because I'm like, well, I've never seen the extended, but do I want the original Outsiders?
Yeah.
Buy
Like,
them
I didn't-
both.
Yeah, but I know, but then you're double for the essentially the same.
I'll
movie.
tell you what. You familiar with That Thing You Do, the Tom Hanks movie? There's a director's cut that adds. It's like 30 minutes. It's
Yeah.
a ton,
Yeah.
and it's awful.
Oh, see, that's my worry.
I think That Thing
exactly.
You Do is a 10 out of 10 perfect
Yeah.
movie, and the director's cut is bad.
Sometimes there's
I've said this
reasons.
before. The Stripes director's cut.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
I've
Yeah.
never
So
watched
bad.
it because you say how
It's
bad it is. Yeah.
bad.
the Mallrats director's cut is bad.
I've never seen the Mallrats one.
There's a whole nother
Okay.
plot that goes on in that movie.
Who is it?
not.
What's the plot? I'm just curious.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. It's like it's more Die Hard. Like there's more. It's more Die Hard esque.
Okay.
It's not as it's dour. Like
Okay.
it's not as funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, there it is.
We
Sorry.
should probably
Wow.
put a fork
There's
in
a
this
lot
one,
to
so.
talk about
Yeah,
with this
no, for
movie.
sure.
I think it's.
Yeah.
I
This
think
could
it was
be a
really
two-parter.
good.
Yeah.
It's like
well,
5 short films. Or
Yeah, it really kind of is. But let's go around the table and everyone can say where to find them.
Leave me alone.
Okay.
Perfect. This is Joe. You can follow me on the Twitter and all over social medias: Threads, Blue Sky, Letterbox, all that good stuff. At Joey Butts, BUTTS21.
This is Kevin. Follow me on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett.
And this is Tom. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon. 2 new episodes coming up soon. They're already recorded. So
That's right.
All we need is Kevin to do his job. Change, and we'll be okay. So, but anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, Steven has Anne committed.
Get back.